Hey everybody, I'm Mike,
I'm Tim.
and this is the Board Game Rundown. We are live from our basements because we cover games from top to bottom. Tim, it is the second Wednesday of January. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, baby. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Happy to be here.
Happy to be
Yeah.
here as well. I'm actually pretty excited about it. There are some times where having like a rough day at work makes this more enjoyable. You're like, this is going to be the best part of my entire day, guaranteed.
Right.
Hey, Evan. Evan, I'm going to do this live. When you were on our 1 year anniversary show, you patiently stayed in queue and we did not get on the show. I will personally apologize to you now for that happening. I never got a chance to do that. But welcome, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Evan's just hopping on to see if, because he knows I played Empires after the Empire this year for the first time. And he's just on to see if it's made my worst of list.
Yep. And Evan's such a nice dude. He's gonna be like,
Spoiler,
no problem.
spoiler alert. There's no way that game made my.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
might have
And then
made my.
Donnie shows up to make sure that Mission Control isn't on the list.
Mhm.
After all those times we hyped it up, just in case to make sure that that was real hype.
Right.
Wayne's with us. Welcome, Wayne. We got Barry. We got Pam. We got Jazz. Chris. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it.
Mm. Of course, I actually did enjoy After the Empire quite a bit. I thought it was pretty cool. I enjoyed the mechanics of it, and had a pretty epic first play of that game, if I may say so myself. Um,
Nix is
not
in the
not
house, too.
not that I played like super well, but no
I still
respect.
just have to play it. I've especially after we did our top 50, and of course, Bob's got it super high on his, and I think I have the most crossover with Bob in our top 50. So,
Yeah.
when he ranks games pretty high, I tend to want to check him out. Not that I don't want to check him out from you guys too, but just saying, most overlap with me and Bob, it seems.
Bob, hush up, man. Don't be spoiling my list.
So Tim, do you want to go ahead and tell everybody what our list is today, since we have not officially addressed it?
Okay, guys. So everybody tuning in, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We love you. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's been awesome. I'm going to tell you why we're here, and then I'm going to tell you a really crazy story that blew my mind. And I don't think I've told Mike this yet. Anyways, so we are all here to talk about our least favorite new to us games from 2023. This is not like strictly a list to just say, hey, all these games are bad. Actually, most of the some of the games on my list are actually pretty good. I just didn't like them or have a good time playing them. Uh, I could probably also defend a lot of these games. So just saying, right? This is, and again, the tricky part about doing lists like this is Mike and I are fortunate enough to be friends with tons of game designers now, and sometimes you got to just go, that one didn't land with me. Like if I ever was lucky enough to get to hang out with Emerson Matsuuchi for a day, I'd be like, dude, Halloween's one of my all-time favorite games. Foundation's Rome, like, can we still be cool? But I get why everybody loves it. So these are not commentaries on the designers, the publishers, or anything like that. These are games that did not land with us at that particular time. And also these lists are also kind of fun to do. To kvetch a little bit about like, I didn't like that. And I will fully admit there's times where your experience can be colored by either the when you played it, or the couple times you played it. Your experience can also just be colored by how bad you were at the game. I tend to not win a lot of games anyway, so that usually doesn't come into effect. But I can get really frustrated when things work a certain way or don't work a certain way, and you're like, I don't know, it just really didn't click. And again, these are my opinions. I know that there are going to be games that I talk about on my list that people actually genuinely really enjoyed, could be in their top 50. Actually, I believe it was in somebody's top 50. And that's totally cool. Actually, two of them might be in top 50s, other people's top 50s. totally cool. And that's it. That's what we're here for. Our least favorite games, top 5 of 2023. And Mike,
Yeah.
do you want to hear a crazy story?
Ooh, I want to say a couple things about the list.
Okay, do
but
that
I can
first.
wait till.
No,
Okay.
do your list.
All right. So, yeah. So we obviously love doing this, and that's why we do it, right? I
Right.
mean, like, it's fun. I just talked about this, but like, that's going to be the best part of this Wednesday for me. And we play games because we enjoy them. We talk about games that we enjoy. I looked today. We've released 775 videos. Tim, did you know that number was that high?
No, that's pretty good.
Weren't expecting that, right?
That's pretty good.
So we're a few years away from cracking 1,000. So anyway, but 775 videos have come from Board Game Rundown. Of those that I'm aware of, there are technically, we did 2 videos that were about games we thought were overrated. One of them is our most watched. It is our most watched video to this day. Okay. Sometimes we review games and don't like them, and then debate whether we still want to review them, and just go, no, let's give our honest opinion of these games. And so we've got 3 or 4 reviews of games that didn't go over that well. And we have a couple Whiskey Wednesdays. We did worst rule books, we did worst experiences, and we even did worst games that we own. Okay. So again, if you're scoring at home, that's about 7 or 8 negative videos that we've done that I'm aware of. So that means that 1% of our content is negative. 1%. So if you're watching this video after the fact, there may be some rants and a few tangents in this video, but like, I don't really want to trash on games because that's not fun for everybody.
Nah.
But yeah, I want to talk about games that didn't work for me, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people that said, "Hey, I really liked that game," and I'm glad people enjoy those games, because not like to dislike the company or the designer because one game didn't land with me. In fact, there's one Tim and I are going to talk about, and this game's made multiples of my favorite games ever. So just wanted to preface that we're not a negative panel by trade here, okay? Yeah, well, let's push those negative numbers up. Yeah, we're not really trying to crap on things that people like. The more you do this, the more time, money, effort, good and bad, you realize goes into getting a game published and to your table. And so it's just like, why do I want to crap on some of these hard work? So, there'll be some rants, but these are still going to be the worst games that we played this year for the first time. They will not all be 2023 releases, although Tim said he thought all of his were. So
all but one.
There you go. So that is my little, I guess, preface that I wanted to throw out before we do a video that some might call negative. With so little content like this, every game is amazing, So why not talk? Are we just not going to talk about the ones we didn't like? Is that what we're supposed to do? I don't think so.
Nah.
So let's just make it fun and not negative. So there you go. That's all.
Cool.
Tim,
sounds good.
Awesome story. What you got?
All right, man. So I have a mutual friend through my sister. His name is Aristides, and the man is a world traveler, if you will. He lives in different parts of the world, different times, I believe, due to work. I've only ever met him playing board games, and usually my sister's there. He sent me a message the other night. Did I tell you about this, Mike? He's in Singapore. So. Okay, you would know. Okay, so he's in Singapore right now, and or he was earlier this week, and he was at a local game store, local to him. I don't have the title of the game store in front of me, but it was crazy. He said that he was in this game store. He looks up, and on the video monitor, he sees My Ugly Mug, because that game store was playing Board Game Rundown shows in their store.
Yes, that is amazing. We are worldwide.
Isn't that crazy? I almost messaged you and I was like, I'm gonna save it for the show. Blew my mind though, dude. Blew my
That is
mind.
amazing. Wow.
And then my response to him was, "Oh, those poor people."
Yes, of course you said that because well, it wouldn't be the board game rundown if Tim wasn't self-deprecating.
Right,
So.
right. Sometimes self-deprecating.
Yes.
Not for like
that is great.
many weeks. Just kidding.
That is great. I want to address a couple comments real fast. I saw.
Do that, and then let's jump in the.
Evan, I've been real outspoken about how much I love Wonderland's War. It's one of my favorite games. Designed by Tim Eisner, so I'll check out anything that guy has made.
We have a review of Leaf in the can. It's just got to get edited. Spoiler alert! Right. It was good.
Did not get in on that one. Dang. Very cool. Very cool. I'm glad to hear it's good. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah, Mike's gonna release a solo album out in Asia soon.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
my wife did point out that it would be life's greatest irony that we all become famous in a country that we are likely to never go to. And I know being on a screen in a game store that likely streams lots of videos does not make us famous. I understand that, but
and Wayne made a couple good points. You know, sometimes you have to be negative. It just means you're being real. Not every game is amazing. Exactly. And there's constructive negativity and there's being negative just to be provocative. We're really not a provocative channel. We just want to be friends with everybody that loves games, plays games, makes games.
100%.
Play them with us. Let us talk about them. We can be pretty cool. Yeah. There you go. Right? That sums it up, really, you know?
Mike, let's get in this list, brother.
Okay, we're trying to stick to our 10 minutes jumping into these things. It's the Mullet Show, folks. Business in the front, party in the back. If you want to see us goof around, right around that hour mark, a little more is when we typically are done with these lists and we start goofing off. So let's jump into our 5th worst game of the year. Worst? We didn't like?
Least favorite.
Come on, Mike. It's a Velvet Hammer. I'm trying to get used to this. Number 5.
All right, so for my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th least favorite game of the year, this is going to be the most controversial one. Well, maybe one of two. This game is great. It's very well designed. I did not like it at all. I do not enjoy games that punish you for not being perfect. Do not like it. Do not like that in a game. I do like this game company. I believe it is Thundergriff Games. The artwork, the production value of this game is excellent. I know I'm supposed to say the title first and then before all the lead up.
The designer has made some amazing games.
That game is Darwin's Journey. This game, by all accounts, right? Everybody loves it and they should. It's a very crunchy, well-designed Euro, but they do not stress nearly enough that you've got to keep up on certain things. And also you can totally get screwed by the market, which is 1,000,000% what happened to me every time. Every time I went to get something on the market to make my workers better, more adaptable, getting some of those seals, all of the colors that I needed, gone. I didn't have the colors that I needed ever available, or they were too expensive. And by the time I could afford them, somebody bought them. And then it didn't matter. And then I wasn't keeping up with the Beagle because I'm spending all these other times trying to generate the resources so I can buy these wax seals to put on my workers. Did not love it. My 5th least favorite game. Also, the game, I mean, we knew it's not like it was a surprise, but we sat down and this was like a 2.5 to 3 hour experience playing this game. And within the first hour, I knew I was totally boned and there was no way that I was even going to be remotely competitive in the game. And so then I spent the last 2.5 hours or 2 hours of the game just trying to see if I could achieve some things. Guess what? Bupkis. Anyways, so Darwin's Journey, listen, the game looks beautiful. The production value is 1,000,000% excellent. Everybody in the world but me loves this game. I am the way of the dodo. I get it. It's totally fine. But it was very punishing. And games like that are that punishing when you make mistakes early because you're learning the game is 1,000,000% just going to, when it's a long game, it just makes for a very miserable experience for the rest of the game. And so, yes, that's I would definitely play Darwin's Journey again. I would try it again because now I know, right? And again, the randomness of the market is going to give you some variability, with replays and things like that. So it's not like a static game like Agricola where there's like 5 correct decisions and you have to make those. And if you don't, you're out. Anyways.
Wow.
So that's it. Thank you. And I liked Fossilis. It was good.
I agree. I love that game. Oh man. So yeah, this game is getting an 8.2. It's already ranked 179, which is really impressive for a 2023 release. It really takes a lot to get new releases moved up with all the games released nowadays. So I'll just quickly go back to the banner just in case Tim didn't see it. Because
Tim
he
is
couldn't
wrong.
be more wrong. This game is fantastic. I really like the way the variable workers work. You can customize.
It's really good when you can customize them. Yes, Mike. Yes. What a cool concept if you're able to do it.
There are ways to mitigate the market so that you can buy the more expensive ones without having more money. But I think it's a game that I really honestly think it's one of those games where like you can go through and just not find an effective strategy the first game and you need to play it again and go, oh, I could have done this the first time. There's a spot where this is a game where if you complete one of the quests or contracts, you get not only the benefits of the contract, but you're kind of like slotting I'm trying to find a spot of the player board and all I'm getting is main board. But there's a spot on your player board where you slot your completed quests, and that gives you a bonus. And one of them literally makes every worker stamp. I don't remember what they're called because it's been a while and I only played it once. The seals
you put on your thing.
There's one of those that makes all of those cost 1, no matter what. So knowing that going in, I think would be huge for Tim. And of course, again, anytime you play a game where if you ignore a part of the game, you're guaranteed to lose, you have to tell people that. And so this is one of those games. If you're playing Lost Ruins of Arnak, you have to go up the temple track, the research track. If you are playing Wonderland's War, you have to, I already talked about it once, let's do it again. You have to tell people to pick up quest cards. If you only stick to building your bag and don't get quest cards, you'll lose because they are one of the biggest ways to get points. So in this game, if you let the beagle get too far out in front of you, you're going to lose. So you got to keep up with it.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter how well you do in other parts of the game. You absolutely must keep up with the beagle.
Yeah,
absolutely must.
And there's so much to discover in here that you can publish in the museum. Your research and everything that that whole part of the board is really the most important part of the board.
Exploring the islands is the most fun, and you don't have enough time to do it because of the damn beagle keeps sailing on. I got more stuff I want to see. Somebody put that dog on a leash.
Yeah, that one in particular, I couldn't disagree more. So I had to make sure we got,
you'll disagree more.
Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, my number 5, it like pained me to put on the list because I like this guy's games a lot. One in particular, which this one is based off of. And I also hate it because Jason taught me this one. And it's Biblios, Quill, and Parchment.
Oh,
So this
so
is a roll and write version of Biblios. I love Biblios. I talked about it last week. It's in my top 80 games of all time. I think it is a perfect filler. Biblios is incredible. You're set collecting and then auctioning to buy better cards for your set. And then they didn't use any of that interesting stuff in this version of the game at all. Like,
right.
basically, it wouldn't matter if I was playing or if a 7-year-old was playing my turn, because I felt like the turns play themselves. It didn't feel like decisions were really that interesting. It was very obvious which dice were better. You were just hoping that those dice were rolled. And if they weren't, it was pretty obvious what the next best options were. I played it a couple times, I believe, even. And Jason's taught me a lot of games that I love because he's a Feld fan as well. So I really expected to like this one a lot. I like roll and write games, you know. I like quick, easy to teach games, and man, yeah, this one I just felt like the turns played themselves, and there wasn't anything I could have done differently. It was obvious what I should have taken. So, um, and yeah, Biblios again, to go back to it, you're collecting a set by drafting cards. If we're playing two players, I'm going to get a card. Tim's going to get a card. One card goes into the auction that we can buy later, except that on my turn, I'm drawing those cards one at a time. So the first card I draw, if it sucks, I'm like, okay, I got to put that one face up for Tim. Well, hopefully I draw something better. What if the second card isn't any good? I got to put that one in the auction. Okay, come on, come on, come on, be a good card. Yes. It's fulfilling and the push your luck feels good. There just weren't, I mean, you didn't really have any combos. Like, what roll and write doesn't have combos? Like, I was disappointed by it.
Were you though? I'm just kidding.
Like, a good roll and write needs to have some good combos. It's like, all right, here's these dice. Go ahead and assign them. You already know
Right.
what you should use. Just go ahead and write it down. Hopefully, you write it legibly so you don't have to. You're confused about how many of each thing you have. It's not fun. Sorry. Hopefully, someone likes it. Jason likes it. I'm sure other people do too. Stick to Biblios, guys. It's way better. There you go. Public service announcement. Stick to Biblios. See, this is the positive channel, man.
Hey, listen, I had a lot of very nice things to say about Darwin's Journey.
You did.
I did.
You really did.
And I'll have a lot of nice things to say about this next one.
Let's find out what it is. Number 4.
Okay, I apologize. I won't do the long lead up into this one, even though I would absolutely love to. It's killing me not to do the long lead up. But I will say that I did rate mine in my least to, or best to worst. So the ones I enjoyed or I think have the most potential down to the ones that I just am done with and don't really need to play again.
My number ones were my least favorite. Yes.
So that being said, my number 4, Wonderland's War. Wow. Okay, so
I knew you weren't in love with this game, but wow.
I mean, I think about this game and I'm just like, you're right, Mike. You've got to pick up the quests. I was told that. I did that. Here's my problem. When playing this game, it was so first of all, I was not told that this game was going to take 3 hours to play. For what this game was, should not take 3 hours to play.
I told you that many times before you played it, but go on. I'm sorry.
That it takes 3 hours? No.
Yes.
No, when I sat down at the table, it's like, oh, we'll be done in 2 hours. Guaranteed. I promise you. Promise you that.
Not a learning game. Not at 4.
It might have been 5. Is it play at 5?
3.
We played at max
goes
player
to 5, and it's 3.5 with
because I think we played 5. I think we played 5 players, and so
sorry. Go on.
There are so many things about the things that I like that this game does, and none of it comes together very satisfyingly for me. I love building the bag. I think the combat's interesting. I love going around the table. Like, I love the way all of that works. I think that even though I do not like this person's art on Dice Throne, any of the Dice Thrones, I think for Wonderland's War, it works enough. The colors are great. Like, he chooses great colors. You know what I mean? And like saturations and, you know, just all of that looks really cool. I hate the way he draws people. I just hate the way he draws people. And that's my problem with the Dice Throne stuff.
That's your least favorite character then, because of her.
Yeah. Yeah. They all just, I don't know. That style does nothing for me, and I kind of hate it. Typical guy. Get out of here, Jazz. Anyways, so the problems is that, like, it just doesn't come together. Like, oh, I'm drawing chips out of the bag. Oh, I'm doing combat. Like, I'm gonna stop, but is it interesting? Am I gonna stop? Well, if I stop here, so yeah, you don't want to win every battle, but like sometimes it's like, well, I need to win a battle, but to get this quest, but I also need to draw like X amount of chips. Well, everybody bails out of the battle before I do because they got a different quest. Well, now I can't even draw enough chips to do the damn thing I need to do because it ends it instantly. It's like crap like that just kept cutting my legs out from underneath me in the ability to do any quest. The only time I had fun playing this game was going around that table at the tea party, and too long. I will. This is like, I don't know if I play this game again. 3 players. I'm not playing with more than 3 players. I need to be done. This game does not give me enough interesting things to do to be sitting at that table for 2+ hours. Just do not. And also, like, I was really hyped up for this game as well, Joel. So thank you, sir. Again, I'm not poo-pooing anybody that loves the game, right? They love the game for a reason. It's done very well for a reason. The game looks beautiful. It does a lot of really, really, really interesting mechanics that just don't work for me. I love bag building. I love territory control. I love that stuff. I love pressure luck. You know, I love gambling, you know, betting on who's going to win the fights. But it's not enough for me. I'll just say that. Not enough for me. So anyways, those are my critiques of one of Mike's all-time favorite games. That's what I said. Oh, I'll hurt you more than I did with Darwin's Journey.
I actually am hurt. So I'll go ahead and pour my first slug of whiskey into this cup, since I haven't yet, while everybody looks at the number of times I've played this game and what I scored it.
Listen,
which is 7 plays and a 9.5. I love this game. It's an all-time favorite. Yes, it is.
I will never. But the only thing I would say to people that are like, "Oh, Wonderland's War," like, what would you what'd you think? I would just be like, don't play more than 4 players tops. Like, play at 3 if you can. Don't play more than 4, and just expect it to take a little while. That's what I would say to them. I'd say the art's beautiful. It's very cool looking. Also, this is a theme, though, that hits Mike in a very strong way. Mike loves this theme. This is a theme that hits him. That's not a negative. For me, the theme can be whatever, right? The theme is fine. It works. It makes sense. They make it make sense for all the different characters. I think it's really cool. I actually kind of want to play with the Jabberwocky character because I think that some of the stuff he does sounds really cool. But anyways, three people when I play it again, because I could totally flip. Like, if we did, because here's what I'll tell you, Mike. If I play this at 3 people and have a completely different experience, I will put this on my best of 2024 as like a new to me, because it'll be a completely different game.
Or we could do a companion to our games we've cooled on list.
We could
do a games we've warmed up to, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, yeah, it is one of my favorite games. I really love bag building.
Me too.
I really love territory control.
Me too.
But yes, the theme does do a lot for me. The art does a lot for me. Being able to bet on who's going to win a fight is a ton of fun. I get why people don't like it. Is too long. It is completely
seven of my
long.
top 10 games have territory control in them.
If
It's one of my favorite mechanics, clearly.
I mean, okay, it says 125 minutes. If you didn't have to teach it and you had experienced players and no setup, okay, but yeah, the setup is long, the teach is long, and it's not hard to learn. There's just a lot to explain. It's one
I'm
of
not
those.
counting setup in my. I sat down to the table and somebody else was setting it up as I was being taught.
Yeah. I think you played that at my house.
I did play it at your house.
Yeah. That's why it hurts the soul. I think
Ah,
it was on the good table. I let you guys have the good table for that
we
one.
did. We did.
Because it's a table hog too.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So yeah, it is a table hog. It takes a while to set up. It takes a while to teach. And I still love it. It does so many things for me.
Oh, we can officially start the show now. Andrew's here. That's good.
Oh wow. All right, cool.
Yeah, I was in your den of iniquity when that happened. Just recap for Andrew real quick. My number 5 was Darwin's Journey. Sorry, Katia. I know you love that game also. I just had a terrible time playing it. But it's beautiful, it's wonderful, and it's very well designed. Mike, your number 5 was Biblios?
Biblios, Quill, and Parchment.
Yes. Okay. And then my number 4, Wonderland's War, and Mike is going to tell us his number 4 now.
I am. Hey, Chris, I actually haven't hosted in a while. It's been several months. I actually haven't had a whole lot of people over lately. So, yeah, I don't know.
This is me with Katia not wanting to be friends with me anymore.
I thought that was because I haven't been hosting in a while, but yeah, I want to fix that soon. So I'll get something together here. Maybe later this month.
Yeah, I did choose violence. Look, man, you can't come on and do a list like this and then have them all be limp-wristed picks. You got to pick. You got to go for some of the big dogs.
There's got to be some spice, I guess, huh? Wow, I just want to change my number 4.
Spice must flow.
No, this one just disappointed. I've talked about a mechanic that I really, really like, and that is negotiating and trading in games. So when I heard about this reprint, I really thought I'd love it, and it fell super flat. And that is Zoo Vadis.
Oh.
Zoo Vadis is based off of Quo Vadis, which is a Reiner Knizia game.
You got really loud. Holy cats. What did I do?
Really? Weird.
I don't know. You're fine. I'm turning on the volume on my headset. Maybe it's me.
Okay, so Quo Vadis, a very old. How old is that one? Just because it's amazing. I think it's like 90s old.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't played it.
92. Okay. Ooh. Look at this art. So yeah, just a straight negotiating game. So they're like, all right, let's get some Quan Chi Mariah art on here, and it looks fantastic.
Art looks awesome.
Incredible wooden components, dude, and all of the animals have different special powers. What you're actually doing in this game is you are trying to become the mascot of the zoo. We are all animals within the zoo. The only human inside of it is the zookeeper, which I'll talk about in a second. Let me find a spot of the board here. If I can get the entire board in a shot. All right, there we go. So you're going to start with nothing on the board, and you have to get into the star exhibit, which is this area right here, which is, of course, limited. You start with none of your people on the board. It takes an action to put them at one of the areas at the bottom. Now, then you are going to try to move along these paths to get into higher ranked places in the zoo, and work your way up to get at least one of your figures in the star exhibit. If you don't get one of your figures in the star exhibit, you have officially lost, and you cannot become the mascot at the end of the game, aka the winner. So you're placing your guys into these areas. Where it gets interesting is that you have to move your guys. You need majority in an area. If you don't own the majority based on the figures you have in the area, Hey, Mike, good to see you, man. Mike's least favorite topic, games we didn't like.
Yeah, that's true.
But we love that you stopped in anyway. Um, but appreciate you, Mike. But yeah, Zufada. So this one, yeah, Bob, I know didn't like. I don't know if anybody really enjoyed this one because what happens is, so if you don't have enough figures that have majority in an area, you have to get votes from people, and if you give people votes and they move up, you do get to collect laurel tokens. Which, if you make it to the star exhibit and you have the most laurel tokens, you win. Um, um, but you get these votes, you move up, but then you can start moving these peacocks up. And what ended up happening was one player got into the star exhibit way before anyone else, and then used other actions to move the peacocks into the star exhibit and prevented most everybody else from getting into the star exhibit. And so it was very clear, very early who was going to win, and nobody could stop her. There was hardly any trading because we saw this happening. And then I even started reading on BGG that this is a common issue in this game. Like, oh, I wanted to love it so much. I will play it again. I'm sure there are some better ways to utilize the animal's special powers, which is interesting that you can't use them on yourself. You only use your special powers on other players. So the goal is to use them as a negotiating chip, because you can only use your powers so many times per game, and each time you use them, you get a certain amount of laurel tokens. So you're encouraged to help other players. So some people actually may not like that you're king making in this game.
Mhm.
That's not a problem for me when it's a built-in mechanic like it is in this game. But man, I just wanted to love it, and it was so flat, and I don't think anybody at the table really enjoyed it that much. But I'm determined to play it again. I'm not ready to give up on this one. So I didn't like my experience of it. It's one of my favorite designers, one of my favorite mechanics, and I will play it more. But yeah. Oh, sweet. Let's see those paintings.
I know.
Didn't work. Just yeah. I mean, I'm like the gamer for this game. And I just couldn't, like, there wasn't really anybody negotiating. And I think some games it's easier to negotiate in than others.
Mhm.
And this one, it was like you kind of had to, you really had to be forced to use your player powers, and they were very situational. And so, like, nobody knew when to use their special powers, so they just weren't getting used. So yeah, I don't know. As light as this game is, it's super light. It was done in 35 minutes with
Or
6
maybe
players.
this benefits from like multiple plays where people then can figure out how to utilize their
Yes.
their player abilities and things like that.
Yes.
Because there also might be a thing now going forward where it's like, don't let somebody get in there.
Don't let
Because if
somebody do the
they,
peacock strategy.
yeah, yeah. And there's way, I mean, I don't know for this game because I haven't played it, but there are games that I've played where you're like, I know that this is a strategy. Hey, everybody, this is a strategy. We should not let that happen. Like as a collective, I can't be the only one trying to stop the person to do it. I'm personally not going to do it because I think it's cheap, but we should all sort of work against anybody that's trying to finagle into there. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's getting popular. I'm just kind of reading a couple threads. Bitewing Games did a great job on this game. It is beautiful.
Looks
I,
awesome.
I absolutely got my money's worth. Those bits are chunky, man. Bitewing Games, you guys really killed it with the production on this game. And I want to play it more. I want to figure out how to make this game fun for me. So, disappointing experience, but I don't think it's a bad game. So.
All right.
I'm been going on for so long. I like missed some of our chats here. So, anywho, I'll catch them while you're talking. Man, we're on to number 3.
Mm-hmm. All right. My number 3, I was so what?
That's kind of a good question. Tim, you feel like addressing that? That's a good
Man,
question.
it depends on the game. and the game length. If it's a shorter game, I'll play that game a ton. If it's a longer game, man, 3, 4 tops. I just don't have the time to invest in a ton of long games that aren't very satisfying. So it's, you know what I mean? So where if it's like a shorter game or like a party style game, who gives a damn? Like Cards Against Humanity 15 years ago, I thought was hilarious and enjoyed. I will play it, but I'm not going to initiate.
Sure.
You know, stuff like that. So
this one, yeah, I think you're right, Tim. I think if the game's shorter, it's easier to have a wider tolerance for how much you enjoy it. Like, well, this will be over in 20 minutes, and at least I'm playing a game and not twiddling my thumbs, you know?
Right. Because if anything, I can work the table and have a good time, at least with interactions with other people, you know?
Yeah, we're gamers. We like playing games. So, you know,
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to absolutely say, you know, there's only one game I hate. So, the next two are games if I would prefer I don't play again. So I'll say that my 3 and 2 are games that I probably wouldn't play again. All right, Tim, go ahead. Good question.
Right.
I wanted to make sure it came out.
My number 3, and this will be interesting, is Beast. I was very hyped for this game. It's Studio Midhall, I believe. I was very hyped for this game. I thought the Kickstarter looked awesome. Bob backed it. I didn't have to. The artwork is incredible. We kind of came into it expecting sort of a 1v many hidden movement game. That is not what this game is. And that did lead to our disappointment. Also, we did get some things in the video wrong. We have addressed that in the comments. People still like to get on and point it out. Totally fine. No problem. Bob had these player boards, right? That you fold, you bend, and he couldn't get them to fit in the right way. And we were like, oh, this is terrible. That should happen. You know, that should work. Now, granted, this is somebody else's, not mine, very expensive game. I'm not going to fudge around and mess with them. We were nervous about bending them the other way because I was worried that it might rip the paper, you know, as you go, right? We're trying not to crease them up and everything because you want it to look nice. Well, it turns out they fit if you fold them the other way. But this game has some rules that I absolutely loathe in a game. Dan mentioned it when we were setting up, but like if the players aren't sitting in a particular order, like everybody needs to be sitting in a certain order, like depending on their character, for the game to play effectively, which to me is a crappy rule. I don't like that rule at all. There are the economy in the game is way off kilter. Now they added a lot of stuff during the campaign, and so stuff didn't get developed enough. The economy's too tight. There's too many choices and not near enough of the ability to get a lot of the stuff that you want to do, can do. So you're very limited there. Again, we were under the understanding that it was like a hidden movement game. Bob was playing this monster that was popping out, and attacking, but like we always knew where he was, and it made it very easy for us to just go and gang up on him. It was not that fun for us, like on the winning side, and we trounced Bob. Usually that is like the most satisfying part of my year. But like Bob was not even having fun playing, like Bob was getting frustrated. We had some rule book issues. I think, some stuff's not like totally clear. And again, just a ton of rules that I did not like. Now I know other shows and other content creators absolutely love this game. They're mad for this game, and that's awesome for them. This just was not my bag. I want to get back to it. Haven't had a chance yet. There was one weekend Bob was supposed to bring it. We were going to play it and re-review it. But Bob didn't bring it. So we didn't play it, and then we just did other stuff instead. I would really like to get back and try this one again, which is better than what I could say for my last two on my list. But yeah, this game looks beautiful. The components, they look great, and everything. But just for me was a very big disappointment. Obviously one of my biggest disappointments of 2023. Our review video, yes, we did get some things wrong, but I still stand by my opinions and the way I felt about the game, because I think that the mechanical issues that I had with the game were not really countered effectively by other people's, points. They were hung up on us getting the thing about the boards wrong, about bending the boards the wrong way.
I get people getting upset about that, but like if the boards bend the opposite direction of the, what do you want to call it? Not perforations, you know what I mean?
They bend in a weird way, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I didn't get to review this one. It was our most viral video this year.
Oh yeah. And we got
our most viewed video because none of the guys on our panel liked it.
And next to our overhyped game, the first overhyped video, this is the one that we've gotten the most backlash and vitriol on.
Yeah, true.
Which is all the more reason to go back and play it again and be like, hey, were we wrong? Now,
yeah, we should do that.
Because going back, at least now we have expectations as far as what the hidden movement, is. And also will sit in the right damn order, which is such a dumb rule. But it's not going to fix the economy of the game at all.
Let's go with a super clickbaity title. We hated Boost, then we played it again.
Dot, 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 dot. So,
I'd like to sit in on that replay just to see if I agree with you guys. I'm different than you guys because hidden movement games are not my favorite. I have realized that. You guys all loved Halloween, and I thought it was okay. I'd play it more. But yeah. I do want to play Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I really want to play that. It's actually, I've been actually asking to play that one for like months now, and I still can't get that done. Anywho, yeah, we got to replay that one. All right. So, oh boy. So this one is going to be based on maybe Tim's favorite IP, one of them. Okay. One of Tim's favorite IP. Lots of people's favorite IP. This might be the worst game from this IP just because it's based on a game that I just never liked. It is Star Wars Jabba's Palace, a love letter game. I'm throwing another filler in here. All right. This is from Z-Man. Multiple designers here. But here's the thing. I just don't understand the love for love letter. And there's a few reasons for that. So one is, if you ask people, what is one of your least favorite mechanics? Pretty quickly, the one thing that will come up, player elimination. Love letter is player elimination, the game. You randomly draw cards in the hope that you'll randomly eliminate somebody based on a limited amount of deduction that's mostly a guess. Because other players are also randomly drawing cards, replacing the ones in their hand. You don't know if they kept the card from before or got rid of it. And you can just look at somebody else's hand. If you happen to have a higher card, they're out of the game. That's not really fun. Like, I just don't understand the hype for love letter. I know it's like, oh, it's 30. It's not that long. But okay, let's compete to see who can get eliminated the least. It's a series of eliminations. It's worse. Somebody's going to get eliminated 4 or 5 times in the period of 20 to 30 minutes. That's just not fun. Hey, who wants to sit out this round? Hopefully me, because I don't want to play anymore. Sorry, I got a little bit of distaste for love letter. And it's a lot of people's favorite filler. I just don't understand the love for player elimination, the game, when so many people just dislike player elimination. And yeah, it works in certain games when they're short. This one, for me, with a series of player eliminations, I think it's even too long for what it is. Make it 10 minutes and I might talk, but didn't work for me. And the tiny little bit of Star Wars stuff that they did add wasn't that interesting. Like there were some, synergies if you had certain people together or compared with each other. It's still love letter. That's the problem.
I like Love Letter. That's all I'll say.
This one looks really good. I like the card art a lot. I like the cool bag it comes in. I even like the tokens they use for the victory points.
Wait, is it over
Only
there?
they could have used that stuff for a different game.
Or is it over there? I got it somewhere.
I know. Tim bought this and we reviewed it. I'm like, oh god.
I believe I got it as a gift.
Oh yeah. Nice. No, it's good. I'm glad people like Love Letter, and I'll play it. It's not.
I believe I got it as a gift from somebody watching right now. So good job, Mike. Way to alienate the audience.
Well, I did say that it's one I wouldn't play again like 10 minutes ago when I said my number 3. I would though. It's so hard for me to just swear off a game. Yeah, there you go. Okay. I knew I'd be in the minority. Lots of people like Love Letter. I get it. There's some dumb fillers I love too that people don't like.
Lovecraft Letter is still my favorite version of Love Letter, but I will play any version of Love Letter anytime. I
have Batman Love Letter, that's now out of print. I should sell that for like the inflated price of $40. I think it's going for now.
Hey, I'll trade you your copy of Dwellings of Eldervale for it.
Oh wow, that's smart.
It's win-win. You get that out of your collection, and you get to keep the game you want.
Yes, yeah, and I'll be able to like get it out of print game out of my collection. Jeez.
Yeah, whatever, Bob. You're wrong.
Well, if I can't get the Heat expansion when it comes out and it sells out too fast, I'll trade this to whoever gets it to me. There you go. I'll do that. All right, that's enough Love Letter hating. Everybody's tired of me. Number 2. Yeah.
To be fair, to be fair to everybody, they were tired of you 53 minutes ago. All right. My number 2, I kind of want to play again, but I'm not sure.
You guys are killing me with these last few comments. All right, sorry, go ahead.
My number 2 is the AEG release I was most excited for this year. I know that sounds very specific, but Deal with the Devil. I was very excited for this game.
CGE, not AEG.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah,
you.
it is CG. It is CGE. Thank you for the correction. I was so hyped for this game. You must play it at 4 players, I believe.
Yes. 4-player only.
Granted, Andrew, not Andrew that watches the show, but Andrew without sleeves that's sometimes on our show, totally screwed up the play for a guy who claims to be as intelligent as he is. Completely, he did like the dumbest stuff ever while playing this game. Conceptually, this game sounds so cool to me, right? Like, because it's like, oh, you're playing as these different like kingdoms, and one of them is the devil, and then one of them is sort of like sympathetic, and then you're going to be getting these trade offers in secret, and you get to you got pieces of your soul that you sell to the devil, which are going to give him points. But you're going to get like these potentially like really good trade deals, right? And then you're building up your kingdom. Well, this takes way too long. It's really clunky, and it is kind of convoluted. All it takes is for one player to not understand their role or what they're supposed to do, and it will throw off the whole game. This is also kind of a really tight worker placement game. It tries to do some really interesting things, and it just did not work. Yeah, Dave, I feel bad. Why'd you punish yourself like that? But yeah, I was really hyped for this. I thought this could be really cool. I thought it would be really neat. Again, the concept is very, very interesting. I love the idea of one player. This is more than like Hidden Traitor. One player is actively trying to corrupt the other players, and they're going to get points for that, right? By corrupting them. And but corrupting doesn't mean you lose the game. It just means that you're giving away points, by selling your soul, like pieces of your soul. So again, potentially does some very, very cool things. And it's just not. It just does not come together in a satisfying, piece. So I was really disappointed with Deal with the Devil. I really wanted to like this. Like I said, I was very hyped for it. And it just doesn't work. I'd try it again just to see with like a different group, with like, hopefully like everybody that understands it, a little better. But yeah, I wanted to love it and just couldn't.
I was disappointed that I think I was out of town when you guys chose to review this one. I think you even sent a picture to me like, "Hey, Mike." I'm like,
yeah.
And then you told me that nobody liked it. I'm like, wow. Everybody loves the love letter rant. If you want to see a similar version of it, go to our overrated 2.0 video where I do something very similar.
Here you go.
But
I love it, Joel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, Joel.
You've been eliminated from the chat for loving Love Letter. I'm just kidding.
Mike went on about Love Letter longer than it takes to play several rounds of it.
That's a great point. I love it.
Mike, can you show us on the Love Letter bag where it hurt you? Where did it hurt you?
Hold on, let me grab my Batman one. I think it's in the closet of trade games, but I won't trade it just because it's out of print. Unless I can get like Andromeda's Edge for it, maybe then I'll trade it.
Oh God,
I don't like this because I like a lot of CGE games.
Mm-hmm.
I already talked about how much I love Alchemist, designed by Matis Khatri, also from CGE that uses an app. So I'm like, oh my gosh, CGE, Matis Khatri, app-driven game. Oh, yeah. And then I've just heard nothing good about it.
No.
That sucks.
No.
I forgot all about this one. That was a good pick. I totally forgot about that one because
it was literally, it's my number 2, and it was literally the second game I thought of when we were making this list. My number 1 is my first thought of game, but this was my number 2.
Man, do we have crossover on that? What the heck is it called? Hold on. Why is it not coming on?
What are you looking for? Don't spoil
I'm looking for my number 2.
Oh, what's your number 2?
It's my number 2. I think that's what I mean. I think we're gonna have crossover. Oh my God! Look at the ranking of this. So we're not the only ones. I could have made this my number 1, but I think my number 1 is more spicy. So let's just get to it. My number 2 is Roller Coaster Rush.
Oh yeah.
This is published by Pandasaurus Games. This is designed by Scott Almes, who made Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. One of Tim's favorite games of all time. My favorite 4X game of all time. They were trying to improve Coaster Park. And Coaster Park, a 6-year-old game from Scott Almes and Pandasaurus. And what you're doing is basically you're rolling marbles down. No, that's the new version. I want to show the old version. They got to have it in this. They can't be using. There we go.
The old version, while the components didn't work, the old version looked better.
It did look better, but the components didn't work. They were using cardboard as ways to make ramps for marbles, but the problem is that the cardboard separates and then the marble falls in the middle, or it falls off to the side. So you can't consistently get your marble to even stay on it. So literally, the components are broken for this game. You can't even really play it. There was a review I watched where he rolled it down the coaster and it fell off the track 6 times in a row. before it successfully went all the way down. So they remade it to, actually make the components functional. It looks a lot better. The box art's still really good. The
Yeah.
components are better. They don't look better. Now they're functional. The marble stays on the roller coaster. But
It
here's what you're
does.
doing. You start with just a randomly assigned set of coaster parts, and then you can start an auction for any coaster park in the game, including somebody else's. Okay, so then you say, all right, I want to start an auction for this piece on Tim's roller coaster. Start the bidding, highest winner takes it, places it into their coaster. Cool. If you buy it from Tim, Tim gets the money. So that's how the money fluctuates. All right.
Peace
But
out,
then
Joel.
the only other way, see you, Joe. Go back and rewatch that love letter rant. Um, uh, so anyway, you're buying pieces from people, and then it's just not that interesting. Like even the auction phase, like here's the thing. If you know these are all of the pieces in the game, not all of them, but this is every different type of roller coaster piece that's in the game. There's just multiple copies of each. Everybody starts with this one to get their marble rolling. But I will tell you from having played this game, this piece right here is objectively terrible. It stops the momentum. Have you ever seen a roller coaster with like a dip as you go up and then a dip as you go down? No, because it stops the momentum. So if you take this piece, your marble loses speed. And so if you put it at the end of it's just after you've rolled your marbles down these pieces 3 or 4 times, you already know exactly how long you can make your coaster. You already know don't put the high ones at the end. You put your high ones up front, and don't take that piece because they're tearing. They just slow your marble down. And then, this is like, it kind of made this to sort of be a kid's game with the art and the theme. But I think kids wouldn't even like this game. And the reason is like, okay, yeah, okay, running the marble down the track and everything, that would be fun. That would be a fun activity for younger kids. I could see that. Taking all the pieces out of that box and building them together and trying to make the longest coaster that they possibly can and yada yada. Not using the game mechanics. But the thing is like if a kid has his coaster in front of him and he likes it, like he's like, hey, this is my coaster, and I like my coaster, and I built it. You can actually buy one of his coaster parts and then take it from him. What kid is going to enjoy that? We talked about that in our review. We reviewed this. It was a store demo. We just opened it up. It was like, okay, this should be light enough to learn and play real quick. We did, and this is the only game I rated a 5. Yeah, like it's not fun. The mechanics aren't that good. They did improve the components. The marbles do roll and they stay on the coaster. That's the best thing I can say.
Yeah, I got nothing nice to say about this. I will say, how about this? I was really worried about Pandasaurus when we played this because there was a couple of games of theirs in a row that I was not bedazzled by. But then we played After Us, and now I'm back on. I'm back in. That game looks great, plays
After
great,
Us is amazing.
super fun. And I was like, this is Pandasaurus? Because I totally ignored After Us because of Pandasaurus being the publisher and because of some of the less than stellar games of theirs that I had, really been interested in. And I like as a kid, I loved marble runs. When my children were younger, we had things to build marble runs and all that stuff. So like I was in for the original roller coaster park. And then when that was awful, I thought, oh great, they improved it. Like, okay, the actual trays look ugly, but they should function, and they do. Mike, you were the one that struggled the most with that one particular hump. I think Bob and I got it to work a couple times, and we're like, see, Mike, it works. And
no, I never bought it. I actively kept it out of my coaster. I'm like, that's just a flawed piece. I'm not an idiot here. I know physics a little bit. So
a little bit.
I won that game though, so I don't want to
Well,
hear it. Yeah, and the other thing we pointed out is who is this game for? Because it's not interesting enough for adults. Kids will enjoy playing with the marble tracks, but I just don't think even kids would enjoy the gameplay. I
yeah,
don't.
because once
Maybe
you
really,
actually
really young kids, but
once you no, not really what young kids,
even
because
still,
once you implement the actual mechanics of the game, which are bidding on other people's things of their track, the kids are going to be out because
yeah,
it's going to piss them off.
yes. And I honestly, I've never. I've tried auction games with a few kids, and they just don't work. Kids are not interested in auction games. I haven't seen it. Not that I've seen. I've tried a few. And I love my auction games, so I still try to play it with kids.
You should try
But
it.
it's
I'll
just
stop.
not an interesting thing for kids. What?
Nothing. You're good.
So yeah, I'm sorry guys. This is one I could have made my one because of how much I disliked it, but my one is spicier. So let's get to those ones. But yeah, you're not gonna get a whole lot of positivity about Roller Coaster Rush. I just honestly don't think it's a good game at all. Sorry. Number one.
My number one, I've now played a few times, and it's really the one and two are the ones that I just never. Well, number one especially, I never want to play again if I don't have to. Roller Coaster Rush could have definitely been on this list. I moved it off because I knew Mike was going to talk about it, and I agree with everything Mike said, except for that he knows physics a little bit. Everything else, totally agree with, even though he did win that game. You know, as winning that game by punishment, we should have just made you take it home. We're like, Mike, you have to keep this in your collection, and you're not allowed to get rid of it. You can't sell it unless somebody buys it from you for $100. That should be the punishment.
No, I
Okay.
think it would be fun to like add it to my collection and put it up for trade and see what I can get offered for it.
Right. Spoiler alert, only Batman love letter.
Yes.
Okay. My number one. I really, really, really wanted to like this game, but I don't. I love this designer.
Yeah.
But I did not like Empire's End. This I don't want to play this ever again. I really don't.
Game.
I don't want to play this again.
Another game with Quan Chi Mariah art too.
I don't like it. It looks beautiful. Game looks great. Components are super cool. Is it in a John D. Clare game?
Yes, he's one of my favorite designers.
Just a designer that absolutely crushes it for me. But this one, I do not like this game. I didn't like Space Base either. Spoiler alert. And this has those skinny cards. You're lining them up. Conceptually, this is very cool, but this game is not very much fun to play. This game is misery as you are just watching your empire crumble. Yes, Bob, we get it. It's called Empire's End, not Empire's Beginning. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I get it. It still can be fun to play. Downfall of Pompeii is super fun to play. Guess what you're doing in that, though? You're destroying Pompeii. This game is just bleh. Don't love it.
Yeah, crisis management. Bob, you're talking to a guy that's not afraid to turn hazards off in SimCity. So go ahead. Sorry.
But no, I mean, so in this game, you're basically you're following along this track depending on the player count, and that's going to tell you, and you can see, oh, I'm going to be able to produce this round. I'm going to be able to. We're going to have a crisis come this round. You know, okay, we're going to do this round. So you know ahead of time. But there's not enough like production to give you things that feel good as your city starts to get destroyed. A couple of bad choices, and you have no hope unless you can get those quests that will give you points for having your city destroyed. I was able to the few times that I did play this keep my city pretty well intact, and still was just kind of like okay. Again, the components are awesome for this game. They look great. But the gameplay is just not there for me. It's not satisfying. This is my number one because I don't want to play it again. I would try Deal with the Devil one more time. I would try it one more time. This one, I would just sit out, you know, unless John D. Clare's let's play this game. I'm going to show you why it's good. I'd be like, all right, let's go. But that's about the only circumstance where I would want to play this game again. I just did not have fun playing it. I understand the mechanics. Again, the production value is beautiful. I think they did a really good job. I think the game plays. I don't feel like the game plays the way that it should. You know what I mean? Like it plays as
flawed mechanics or anything.
No, not at all.
Mechanically sound.
It's very mechanically sound. Everything makes sense.
Or otherwise, did a good job on the production.
Yeah, I just don't like it at all. So that, and I think I was way in the minority with this, right? Didn't everybody else like it? Or did Dan not also not like it?
So this was a 5-player game. So I think it was everybody but Andrew. I think this was a day I wasn't on camera, but I played some games you guys were reviewing. And yeah, John DeClaire is one of my favorite designers. Ready, Set, Bet, and Cubitos are 2 of my all-time favorite games.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
I like Space Base.
Mystic Vale.
Mystic Vale is excellent. I keep forgetting to mention it because I've only played it on Steam, but I really love that game.
Space Base. So it's funny because John DeClaire's got 2 games that I just prefer to never play again, and that's Space Base and Empires. And I love Machikoro. I prefer Machikoro.
So here's the thing. I agreed with Tim. I did not enjoy playing this game. It's kind of like a battle of who can do the least worst. Who can let less of their stuff get destroyed. The problem is it just doesn't feel satisfying letting anything get destroyed. And then there's even some cards that'll give you bonuses if you have more stuff destroyed. That just doesn't feel good. It just didn't feel good. It didn't feel fun. It wasn't fulfilling. It was kind of like, oh wow, good job. You were able to do all that. You know? I don't know. And it is actual kind of it is fun. Hold on a second. Sorry. I have a dog now, and she rarely barks. That's actually the second and third time I've ever heard her bark in 3 weeks now. So I don't know what she was barking at. I may have to take a break to let her out, except Tim's away from the camera. But yeah, I agree. It just wasn't fun. It just try to not let your stuff get destroyed, and hopefully too many of them don't. Yeah, it didn't work for me either, Tim. I totally agreed with you on this one. I kept it as an honorable mention because I knew it would make your list, and I love this man's games.
Yeah.
Oh man, see, designer. Evan. It's just whoever who can prevent the most damage. Yeah, or it's like I can do the least worst. I said that. I'm repeating myself, but those were kind of my takes. It just didn't feel satisfying. Crisis management, as Bob called it, is not really one of my favorite things. I want to find out why Sushi barked real fast. I'm sorry, it fell for me, Tim.
Oh yeah, no problem. No, I mean, Evan, I'm glad you really enjoyed it. I might have enjoyed it better if I was sitting next to John DeClaire while playing it. I was joking about After the Empire because the names are kind of close, and I think a few times we called Empire's End After the Empire while playing it. But After the Empire, for example, you're here. We'll use you as an example. That is a game of crisis management. That is way more fun. Dean. Well, you want to talk about Love Letter. So when I got up and walked away, I was getting this copy of Love Letter. Oh, or did you want to see this copy of Love Letter? Oh, wait. Or did you want to see this version of Love Letter? Oh, or maybe Lovecraft Letter. So yeah, I have 4 versions of Love Letter. I was gonna rub it into Mike's stupid face. Here's the cool bag for that. Like Japanese version. Oh, it's the L5R. Excuse me, the L5R version of it. I need to actually take it out of the box and leave it in the bag because the bag looks way cooler. But Lovecraft Letter is my favorite version. Yeah, get bent. No, I do not have the deluxe love letter. But I would. I'm definitely open to it. Mike's gone. So anybody watching? Is anybody watching a Bang fan and don't have Bang? Oh wait, we'll talk more in a minute. Now that he's back. Hey, Mike.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Nope, you good. Hey, let me recap your 5 through 2 for you real quick. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So here's your 5.
Oh, that was my 3.
No, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Roll with me, Mike. Here's your 5.
Okay.
Here's your 4. Here's your 3. Here's your 2, sir.
That was worth getting up for.
Like I said, roll with me.
That's good.
So real quick, Mike, I was getting into something before you do your number 1. Anybody that really likes Bang, I have, I think, almost everything for Bang, and I don't need it anymore because I got something different. So if anybody that's watching the show right now loves Bang, wants to have some stuff for it, comment, let me know, and I would, I'll send it to you free just for watching the show, because I've got a bunch of expansions for it. I might combine them as many as I can into like one box with the instructions just to save on shipping. But somebody wants a bunch of Bang stuff, and I'll show you why when you know, a little later after Mike does his. When Mike's doing his number 1, I'll grab why I don't need all the Bang stuff that I've got. But Mike, I just did an impromptu giveaway real fast.
If anybody, give away?
I'm going to give away like just about everything for Bang. I'm not giving away my Bang the Dice game. I still have that. I don't have it. But it's the card version. So Mike, what's your number 1? I'm going to hear what it is, and then I'm going to get up at some point in time while you rant about that to grab something to show off.
Yep. If you've tuned into the show this year, you've definitely heard me rant about this one. This one I'm going to get some disagreements on, but after all I had heard through the years about how amazing this game is, this just really did not work for me. It is number 19 ranked Eclipse.
Oh yeah, I should have known.
Second Dawn for the Galaxy. I really, really was hoping that I wanted this game to be epic, and I really, really wanted to enjoy it. And really early on, I was just getting absolutely hosed by bad exploration draw tiles. This is a 4X game, so there's going to be some random tile exploration. Except in this game, you know, you're collecting income based on the planets that you draw. And if the planets don't provide the resources that help your faction, you're just at a severe disadvantage. If that continues to happen, just stop the game, because yeah, there is no catch-up mechanic in this one. If you get bad tile draw from exploration and you're not collecting the correct resources, you're probably going to lose. Then I ended up with a faction or race, I don't remember exactly, that their goal was to work up on, so I was supposed to be building up on like specific techs, but because I couldn't draw the correct resources, I really wasn't able to buy a whole lot of techs. And techs help with combat. And in my opinion, this game needs all the help with combat it can get, because I severely dislike this combat system. Only a 6 hits at the base level. You need techs to improve that. Okay, except that I'm going to roll 1 die for each ship, and if I miss, then the other player rolls, and then after that, you get the chance to retreat or keep rolling. So you can retreat or keep rolling. Well, if you can't roll 6s, these combats can just draw out forever if nobody retreats. I mean, like seriously, like 10 minutes for like one combat where people are just rolling, and nobody's rolling a 6. I just do not like that combat system. And there's just so much exploration draw luck that hurts your engine in this game and ability. Yeah, techs help with combat. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I just didn't have the money to buy any. And I had the faction that was supposed to be loading up on them. So without techs, you're a lost cause at combat. So I tried to get into a couple combats, and I was just so dead set on winning just one combat during this game. Just one combat I wanted to win. I lost them all. Now, strategically, at some point, I probably would have retreated. But if you played this 3-hour game and you couldn't win a single combat, how likely are you to keep getting into combat? So at the end of the game, instead of just sitting around and letting people beat me in combat and collect victory points for doing so, I'm like, I'm king making if I go into battle. So I literally just sent all my ships into retreat mode as far away from every other player I could, and just that bored me to tears. Nothing about this game really felt good to me. The income might feel good if the draw tile expiration was better. But I really dislike that combat system. Just roll until somebody gets a hit, gets a 6. What happens if you don't? Keep rolling. It's be here all night, just hoping somebody rolls a 6. Unless you buy techs. But I could barely afford them, so that wasn't me. I was the one just missing 6s and losing over and over and over and not retreating because I was too stubborn. I didn't win a single combat in 3 hours. And I just kept going the opposite direction. It was awful. I severely disliked my play of this game. I know I'm in the minority. I'll probably play it again. I will play it again if offered. And I'll definitely try a different faction. And draw tile exploration will help. Even like another thing, so combat, even if you win, you get a random number of victory points. You draw into a bag. There's tiles that are worth 2, 3, and 4 victory points. You draw them out, and you can only store so many. So say you've got like all 2s and you draw 3. Okay, we can swap out one of your 2s for the 3 you just drew, and then put the 2 back in the bag. Except at the end of the game, if there's a bunch of combat, bag's full of 2s anyway. Everybody's put them in there. So even if I were to have won a combat, I would have got the lowest amount of victory points for it. The odds of me getting a 4 towards the end of the game were slim to none. So what's my incentive to get into combat then? Sorry, there you go. That's all I got. It really, really was not fun for me. Yeah, I know a lot of people played it a long time ago, and I've heard really good experiences with it. And I like dice combat. I like luck-based dice combat. Perfect example, Dwellings of Eldervale. That combat mechanic I love. Single highest die result. You roll those dice once, you know instantly if you won or lost. And underdogs can win. That's fun. You instantly go, yeah! My one worker beat a monster that rolled 5 dice. That's awesome. But these long, drawn-out battles where retreating is sometimes a better option than winning the battle. That wasn't fun.
Sure.
And rant. Thank you for listening.
You're welcome. Hey, Evan, I got an old copy of Shogun. I don't know if that's one you're looking for. I haven't played it, but and I've only played the Eclipse on the app, and I wasn't blown away on the app. But I also try not to judge games that way because I do much better when I play a game physically and then play the app version. I just learn better hands-on. Just that's a me thing. I know that's not everybody. Let's recap.
Yes, Barry. I should get good. That's fair.
He's messing with you. Come on.
I know. No. Get good. It's all good. I know it is. Not fun. I'll play it again though. I still will play it again.
Evan, I'll send you some pictures. You tell me what's up. Anyways, Not tasteful
Recap.
foot pics, but pictures of Shogun. Yeah, let's recap real quick. So my 5 through 1, really, really, really fast, is Darwin's Journey. Then Wonderland's War. Mike, hold on to yourself. Then Beast, Deal with the Devil, and then Empire's End for my final one.
That's the fun part, and Tim knows it. We've got really thick skin, and I've been in sales for 20 years. There's literally isn't a whole lot. I've had doors slammed in my face. So even though you're joking, I'll just run with it.
Mike and I both
man.
work in sales and customer service. You're not really going to hurt our feelings. You're actually, if you're here taking the time to pick on us, well, then we win.
I've done customer service. I've done retail.
Yeah.
I haven't worked a call center. That's about it.
Same.
Okay. Yeah. My list was Biblios, Quill and Parchment. Stick to Biblios. Zoo Vadis. I'll play it again. Star Wars, Jabba's Palace, A Love Letter Tale. I just don't like Love Letter. Roller Coaster Rush. It's up there for one of the worst games I've ever played. Sorry. And Eclipse, Second Dawn for the Galaxy. I'll play it again, but my experience was really bad. And luck was a big factor. So, and I like luck in games. So that means I'll just play it again and hopefully I'll have some better draws.
Mm-hmm.
You got some dishonorable mentions, Tim?
I mean, Roller Coaster Rush was one of them. There's not a ton that are coming to my brain. What was the one we played this at? Was it Origins? And it was an Adam's Apple game.
Oh, agree to disagree.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I think I requested that one because I like PlayerUnknown also from Adam's Apple, and I thought, hey, a party game from them, that might be fun.
And I think
it was just okay.
Did I play? If I had played, did I play Planet Unknown the first time this year? Because that could have been on my list.
No, I think we all played that last year.
I think we did too.
Yeah, I agree to disagree. I didn't dislike it, but there's just so many other party games that are better.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, it's an honorable mention. It's not what I'm reaching for, Okay. But they did. I mean, they sent us a copy. It was nice. It was kind of cool. Like, oh, hey, we get an opportunity, and it's got some really unique mechanics with the way that you fit those pieces together. But it's getting people to wrap their brains around the way that they're supposed to work. And yeah, Evan, you are right. That is a great way. Yeah, Eve's Apple.
That's correct, Barry. Leave your feelings at the
100%.
All right, I got a few more dishonorable mentions than Tim. These won't be as long of rants. My first one is actually a company that we really like. They make so many games that we love and we've covered. And this was South Park Munchkin.
Oh,
this is from the op.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying anything you haven't heard. Munchkin, just for most people, isn't that fun. But what's funny is this is the first time I ever played Munchkin. So South Park Munchkin was my first foray into Munchkin. And South Park is one of my favorite IPs, and even that couldn't rescue this one. Munchkin's just too random, and hopefully I draw the right cards, and that's about all you can do.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, but I hope they made a lot of money on that game. That's a big IP, and they probably did. That we made a video, and it was one of our most watched videos of this year. So it's got some traction. So I'm not hurting anybody with that one.
Oh, I know one that's an honorable mention. It's the Stranger Things board game that Rob Davio designed.
Oh yeah, from Seaman.
Into the Upside Down or something like that.
Yeah.
That
Upside Down.
That was a little disappointing. It felt harder than it needed to be. Is it Rob Davio? Did I get the designer right too?
Yeah, it is.
Oh wow. Yeah. So again, proven designer. Obviously a very popular IP. Might also have been influenced with my dissatisfaction of season 4, whatever the most recent season of Stranger Things was.
Yeah.
But yeah, we felt we actually did so poorly the first time we tried to play this game. We immediately re-racked, played again, went slightly better, but just still felt like, no. Yeah, Chris, that's the problem with Munchkin. It just takes a little too long. It could be fun if it was shorter. But I enjoy the occasional game of Munchkin, but it's more like it's more the people I'm playing with than the game itself. Like Munchkin is for me is much more about the trash talk. But anyways, this Stranger Things game, I really wanted to like it. I don't feel like it was pasted on theme. I feel like it's like all on theme and everything. It's just very difficult. And I feel like one of the issues is going to be you have an IP like Stranger Things where people that are not board gamers are going to see that game and be like, oh, hell yeah, Stranger Things game. Like I'm in. And if that's their first foray into the hobby, sorry about you, man. They're not going to like a game that's going to slap you around that much. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right. And plus, wasn't the rulebook not the best?
Also true.
If I will just steal Tim's thunder, if you want to check out a good Stranger Things game, play Attack of the Mind Flayer. Play that one. That's a good Stranger Things game.
It is, and it's based on a game that is in my top 50. I mean, it's a re-theme of a game that is in my top 50, but it makes sense and it works. Designed by Joey Vigor, and I've had the opportunity to meet Joey a few times. So full disclosure, I like Joey, but
his game was fun.
But his game was fun. I prefer Growl, but more people are going to be able to get and be interested in the theme of the Attack of the Mind Flayer, and you're going to be just fine.
Gotcha.
But yeah, David, I agree. Some games need an easy mode and some need a hard mode. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre was drastically improved by the hard mode. Regular mode was too easy. Hard mode was fantastic, super fun, and very stressful. So yeah, well, I'll keep talking about how fun that game is before we let Mike play it.
Yeah, right. I know. Shut up. So I got a couple more. One of them, Empire's End. Like you said, that one didn't work for me. Don't like to be beat down in a game. That's not fun. Vindication. This one is a highly ranked game. A lot of people really love it. My experience is jaded because the teacher threw in all of the new modules from the Kickstarter that came out this year. And this was a learning game for 2 people with 5 players total. The setup and teach took longer than playing the game. We took about an hour and a half learning this stuff and setting up this stuff. And then an in-game trigger came out that ended the game in 45 minutes. In my opinion, if an in-game trigger comes out that's a random draw and it would ruin the experience, just draw another one. Also, if you're teaching somebody a game and modules add teach time, setup time, then it's a medium plus game and you're not with the bunch, just leave that stuff out. There was a bunch of stuff in those modules that we spent 15, 20 minutes talking about that never got used in the game. Like, don't do that to people. Oh, Bob, sorry, I really don't remember. I really don't. It was just something that happened way too fast, and everybody knew it immediately. I'm like, oh, okay, it's going to be a short game. All right, really? We've spent an hour and a half getting ready for this. I'm sorry, Bob. I really don't remember, but yeah, everybody like that had played it before instantly agreed it was not a good one for all the stuff we had in the game. We still played it. Why? So make a judgment call. Just flip another one up. Yeah. No, it was there's different versions of in-game triggers though. Like it's not always the same in-game. There's different versions of it. And whatever version we had was just like too easy to trigger. So yeah, I'll play Vindication again. Unfortunately, the experience ruined the game, and I'm sure the game is better. But yeah, don't teach this game with modules first.
You know what?
Only, it's too much.
You know what's unfortunate is a lot of my very recent negative game stories involve the person that taught you this game. And I hate it because I really like this person quite a bit. But it happens sometimes with board games. You know.
Yeah. So Vindication, I know, is one a lot of people like. I'll play it again, but yeah, hopefully I only play the base game. I don't want stuff that we gotta spend a half hour talking about that just sits there the whole game. I don't like to do that to new players. The other one I've got is Inside Job. Inside Job is a trick-taking game with hidden roles. That sounds awesome. I really like trick-taking and hidden roles, except that even if you figure out what somebody's role is, you really can't do a whole lot about it. Like they'll just play the cards. Uh, oh wow. Evan, good stuff, man. We were all newer gamers once.
Yeah.
But yeah, Inside Job just isn't like the trick taking was fine, but the trader mechanic just wasn't impactful to the game. I felt like it was just sort of added to see if they could do it. It is a Cosmos game. They're a big company. It'll be fine.
Mhm.
But yeah, even if you figure out who the trader is, you can't do anything about it. You're still going to play the cards that are dealt to you because that's how trick takers work. So there's different like variables that you can add in that will like change the win condition for the traders, but it didn't feel like figuring out the traders made a difference at all. And so it's like, well, why even have a hidden trader then? So unfortunately, Inside Job didn't work for me. I learned that earlier this year at your sister's. Actually, she wasn't in that game. Neither was Patrick. My last one of the night, I will mention. I actually really like this game. I'm going to mention it because the translation in the rule book provides an out of context game example that breaks the game. It ruins the game. Encyclopedia is a newer release from Holy Grail Games, who is no longer French company, French designers. And it's really fun to play. It's really long. It's really long. Especially with the teach and 4 players, man, it's like 3+. It's fun. It's got really good art, but there's this example they put in the rule book that completely ruins the game, destroys your engine, and this part of the example is just like kind of off to the side, so it's not even tied in to like the rules that it's trying to give you an example of. So it's sort of this out of context example, and they broke it up in a way that makes you think you should lose resources when you shouldn't. Now, any game where you're losing resources when you shouldn't be, it's going to suck. And because of a bad translation, they have an example in the rule book that completely ruins it. And we were trying to teach people this, and like there was a discussion about whether that was the correct rule. We had to stop and go to a BGG forum just to figure it out. So that, jaded some people's experience, and it was really, really long. I enjoy this game though.
So gonna hit the comments real quick. Yeah, Trick Takers, Bobby, that was Potato Man. That was a super fun game. Really enjoyed that. I'm not sure who designed it, but I believe it is a little older.
It is. Holy crap.
And Nix has a question for you, Mike. You got to read it, though.
Oh, is it better than Oregon Trail? We're talking about what? Encyclopedia? All of these games are better than Oregon Trail. That is the worst game I've ever played. Sorry.
Did you Evan teaching us the games? Hey, see ya, Evan. Thank you for being here, buddy. I'm going to send you some pictures of Shogun later. You let me know. So real quick, I've got Bang. Okay, I've got Bang. I also have the Wild West, the Valley of Shadows, High Noon, and Fistful of Cards expansion. I have the Dodge City Armed and Dangerous expansion, and I have the Great Train Robbery expansion. If anybody wants that, I want to just get all together. I don't want to break it up all together. If somebody wants it, let me know. I will send all this to you. And I'm doing that because I got this bad boy now. DV Games sent us this. I do have a friend that works at DV Games, so that helps. But we're going to do a thing on the show about this, but this has like everything for Bang in there. There's like a stick of dynamite in there, but it's got all the expansions, all the stuff, all the goodies. It's got some really cool bullets that go on a player board. But I was like looking through everything in this box. I'm like, holy cats, like I got a lot of good stuff in here. And then I realized, oh, I've got a bunch of this stuff already. So somebody else should get to have that. And I don't need it. I'm not interested in selling it, or I mean, I'll trade it if somebody wants to, but I'd much rather just give it to somebody that wants it. So if anybody wants it that's watching, just reach out. And if nobody does, that's fine. I'll give it away in a different way. But I'll offer it to you guys first because you're here. So I don't think it's a magnet, Bob. I think it's just heavy. That's a solid box. Yeah, I'm gonna bang one out. But yeah, if anybody, no, you can watch. But yeah, if anybody wants all this stuff, let me know. You're welcome to it. I'll be happy to send it to you. Just as a hey, enjoy this, please. Yeah, Nix, I'll send it to you, man. If nobody else wants it, nobody claims it, it's yours. And yeah.
I think one of the good reasons to be doing a giveaway tonight is because since the last time we saw everybody, last Wednesday, since then, we cracked 4,000 subs! So it's a good time to do a giveaway. In case you didn't know, we're a little excited about that.
Not only did we crack 4,000, I think we're almost, are we at almost to 44 now?
We're
4,400?
really close to 44 now, which is wild because we've gotten almost 800 subs just in December, or just the last 30 days.
Yeah.
28 days. Yeah. I think our top 10 had something to do with that. Promoting some videos also had a lot to do with it.
Sure.
But I think about that. It's always good time to do a giveaway when something like that happens.
I don't think people are subbing though if they didn't like what we're doing. So
yeah.
I'll take it.
True.
I'm very excited about that, and it's sometimes I have to remind myself, like, take some praise, like it's fine. Usually, we make jokes, and I say those poor people when I hear about other people watching our show. But sometimes, hey, we've been at this now for 4 years, and it's paying off. It's a grind. It's been a grind, and there's been highs and lows. But this show, like outside of like my immediate family, has just been one of the most rewarding things I've been able to do. And it's given me so many friendships and relationships and everything through this. Like, just what an awesome opportunity. I'm really grateful for it. I'm grateful every day, and I really do not take it for granted. It's super important to me personally.
It's awesome. I've been doing it for a little less than 2 years now. That was the time I finally got Tim to allow me to play games with them, and then a couple months later they're like, hey, you wanna come talk about some games too? I'm like, well, I don't know if I could. Okay. Yes,
I love it.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, at this rate, we'll hit 5,000 this year. That should be a given. But maybe we'll hit 6 by Gen Con. That would be awesome. That would be amazing.
Dude, I'll take it. If we get 5 more between now and Gen Con, I'll be a little sad, but I'll also take every single one of them, and I won't complain about it one bit. The live streams are awesome, Mike. They're not what they could be, or they're not what they they've not reached this level without you. You know what I mean? They would not reach this level without you. They've gotten better because it's you and I, our dynamic and everything. And then everybody that watches, and we get to hang out with you guys. You guys make it better. You guys fuel the madness, you know. Mike, actually, I'm going to throw a curveball at you.
Well, thank you, Tim. Everybody knows Tim's the face of the show. There is no rundown without Tim. I'm just that guy that really, really loves to do it, has the free time to do it, and also knows a bit about the behind-the-scenes stuff that keeps things running a little bit. So.
That you do. That you do. You watch so long, you get a discount on Pepto-Bismol. Yeah, Chris. Yeah. So Mike, I'm gonna throw a curveball at you.
I love that one, Chris. Good stuff.
Before we get into trivia.
Thank you, everybody. We love you all for tuning in every week.
Before we get into trivia or doing anything like that, Mike.
Yes.
Why don't we have somebody pitch us a theme for a game, and you and I have to.
Oh, we haven't done that in a while.
We've not done that in ages.
Which reminds me, another one, real quick, just a really fast, dishonorable mention. I'm sorry, this is a really late one.
Yeah.
But do I have it right? Yeah, there we go. My other least favorite game this year is Autocomplete the Game. So if you've watched this for any period of time, you'll know that there have been times after the list that we goof around that Tim will bust this game out, and it's really not that good of a game. Like if I would never bring this to game night, but for whatever reason on this show, just us two goofing around with an audience, it works. It's pretty fun because like the answers you see are just like, what are people thinking? Remember, this is the one I'll never forget.
Giraffes?
Are giraffes blank? Autocomplete. What did people Google about giraffes? One of the top answers was, are giraffes gay? Oh, damn it, Andrew. I know. I'm a newer Star Wars fan, meaning I'm not nearly as well versed as anyone that's been watching it for years. I love the movies and many of the shows, but I'm just not trivial knowledge.
And they've announced Favreau's directing a Mandalorian Star Wars movie. They start production this year.
I embarrassed myself on Star Wars trivia, but that's fine. You know I'm a new Star Wars fan, so that's why I'm not afraid to admit I'm terrible at Star Wars trivia. So anyway, all right, Tim, what you got? I had to get that out. I knew you'd love the autocomplete honorable mention. I almost forgot. Almost forgot.
So good. So good.
Should log some more plays of it. 2 seems a little low. Anyway.
And to be, Patrick, my brother-in-law, gave me that game for my birthday as a joke. And I was like, yes. I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna make this a thing.
and it's funny. That's the thing. But like I just like to get like 8 people around trying to play that doesn't sound fun at all.
Okay. So David has our first theme for a game.
Oh, yes. We used to do this all the time. You just come up with a super crazy theme. We'll give you really wild mechanics and turn it into a game. We did this a lot back in the day. I thought I had, here it is. Yeah, this. Sorry, it hides his comment, but anywho, there you go. Goofy IP, idea, theme. Run with it. Which one are you picking to?
Okay, so I got this one first. We'll do this one first, and I'll go first because I've seen it. It'll give you time to think about it. So the theme is a princess is about to get a message from a lover, but difficulties ensue. Okay? So here's my game, Mike. You are the messenger trying to get this letter to the princess. Okay? But here's the thing is there's all these people trying to stop you. But you don't know who they are. And they don't know who you are. And your role could change from hand to hand because what you're going to do is you're going to draw like a single card and now you're only going to have 2 cards in your hand. You're going to have to play one of them.
Wow.
But some cards can eliminate other cards. So, I think we should call this game like, it's about love. You're trying to deliver a letter. I think you call it like snail mail or maybe lust envelope. No, maybe love letter. Why don't we call it love letter, Mike?
Well, yeah.
I think you'll love this game.
Oh, I got it. I got the joke a while ago. I was playing along. Good at playing along.
I think it took Mike about 20 seconds to figure it out.
There was at first, well, the way he worded it was very clever. For a couple seconds.
I had to try to distract a little bit, with like okay. And I was
working. Is it Batman or Cthulhu?
No, this is the love version.
Oh, okay, good. That's good.
But yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the great thing about my game is you can reskin to anything. I mean, you could do Star Wars, you could do Batman, you could do Cthulhu.
Wow, that's a great idea. I think I'd probably play something like that. So wait, what happens to the what happens to the people though that like you gotta get your messages are getting intercepted? Like
you're eliminated. You're eliminated.
Oh.
You're caught. You're out.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Mine is going to be Mandalorian Love Letter. So Mandalorian Love Letter is going to be based off of season 2 of The Mandalorian, which, as you may remember, was Fetch and Retrieve Quest, the show. We're going to go to a planet. Difficulties ensue. We're going to come across a person. They're going to give us a quest on a different planet. And then we're going to run into baddies. And then we're going to overcome those baddies. And we're going to find someone that's going to help us there. Then we're going to return back to that original planet. We're going to tell that person that we did that thing. That's Fetch and Retrieve Quest.
There you go.
Much like every RPG that I've ever played, the entirety of season 2 did that. And I loved season 1 of Mandalorian, and I still enjoyed season 2, but I'm like, this is becoming too predictable. And then they fixed it all. I loved season 3. So to be on theme with Mandalorian Love Letter, to represent the different planets that you must go questing, we're going to be simultaneously drawing from 8 different decks. That is correct. Each deck is a different planet with its own theme of Love Letter cards. We're actually just mashing 8 different versions of Love Letter together to represent all of the different planets that they sent them on for quests in The Mandalorian of season 2. You're just going to simultaneously have 8 cards in your hand. You're just going to pick one of them. It doesn't really matter anyway because you're going to be out of the game in 5 minutes. So.
It's funny, Mike, as I was about to say, this might actually fix your problem with Love Letter. It gives you more options. So you're less likely.
Options.
Yeah. Instead of just 2 cards, you got to play 1. You got 8 cards. You got to play 1.
Oh, man, that's so true. But, yeah, and then that actually does fix it. It does, Tim, because if I got unlucky and I drew a whole bunch of bad cards, I'd be eliminated in 5 minutes and the game would take an hour and I would never play any of it. Man, that is the perfect solution. I'm glad I was here for it. Yes, Jim was here for another Love Letter rant. 2 in 1 episode.
Oh, God, Jim, you go back and watch, dude. Most of the episode is Mike rants. I've been pretty good tonight.
It is. We're actually, and then we're going to have a campaign with the 8 different Love Letter decks. Yeah, no, that's really smart. That's smart. Because if you're getting eliminated from a game, 5 minutes into it, and you're just going to keep doing that over and over, I think you should do that over and over thing more over and over.
So Mike, here's why you should hire me to help you actually finally put the last piece into your game to fix it.
Ah, please, thank God. Hold on, let me find a pen.
Once you get eliminated, it becomes a legacy game, and the person that gets eliminated starts slowly tearing cards in half from the other decks to then shorten the game, and then you
Ah,
never play it again because by the end, all the cards have been ripped in half.
this
You're
is the
welcome.
greatest game of all time.
You're welcome. That's what I do. That's what I do.
Jim, there's a Star Wars version of Love Letter. It was my number 3, so that's
And
where you
it
get your
took
Love Letter rant.
his rant takes longer than it does to play the game. I want to go back real quick to Andrew's Meth Geologist, a game about rocks.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is an idea that has fascinated me. I'm going to implement a mechanic that I think would be really cool to see in a game for this one. You ready? So this is a worker elimination game. Your working pool gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller as you go. Because what you are is you're going out, you're a geologist, but you find this special rock that you can abuse recreationally while mining somewhere. And, on a moon. Let's just put it on a moon. That way there's no people harmed by this. But now the thing is, you can use these rocks and they're going to give your workers super actions, but then they die off very quickly. They burn out very fast, like a magnesium flare, right? They're really bright and they do a lot for like a turn and then they're gone. But man, you get a lot out of them. So you got to really just, mitigate how much of the rock you let them indulge in as you go through. That's my meth rock geologist.
That sounds interesting, Tim, but Meth Geologist, a game about rocks, is actually based on a future government program that allows people to get tooth implants for free. So you are an entrepreneur, also a dentist. You're going to do some route building. You're going to do some contract fulfillment. And because what you're going to do is actually hire people to go around the local neighborhoods looking for crackheads and meth heads, transporting them back to your dental facility and seeing who can do the most dental implants before the game is officially over. So you're going to have to hire multiple workers, more route building. More route building, more meth heads. You can get back to your dental office so that you can give them those free implants.
So you just got canceled, sir, for exploiting people that are adversely affected by addiction. So you're a monster, and my space game then goes on to sell millions of copies. Sounds like an obsession.
No, I mean, hey, it's
not your obsession. I believe he's referring to the game Obsession.
Oh yeah, it's it's like 2040 Monopoly, man, except we're exploiting government programs for our dental office revenue.
Oh,
2040 Monopoly, man. We're not very far-fetched. We can make it a roll and move too for the route building. I like it. Only slightly better than a love letter campaign.
Victory points for not getting arrested and Obsession the game. Yeah. It sounded initially your comment, I think, as Mike read it, was like he's obsessed with going around and gathering up meth heads and crackheads.
Wow, Mike, you're really obsessed with meth heads and giving them dental implants.
Mike's really trying to work on another trade. And I mean, you got to start somewhere. He can't afford dental school, so he's just doing it out on the streets and getting good, getting good at it.
That's amazing.
Okay. Another cannibal game. So David wants another cannibal game. All right. Let's see. Okay. Nah, it's kind of been done. A cannibal game. Just straight up a game about cannibalism. So there's hate and there's Galapagos, right? Can't you eat somebody in that one?
I don't think so.
Or you just kill them? because food's running low. You don't want them eating your food. You're not killing them for food. You don't want
People off
them.
the island.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I think cannibal game without being too derivative. How about a hidden traitor or secret hidden role game
Go
where
ahead.
somebody is a cannibal and you don't know which one it is, and this is basically cannibal but werewolf but cannibal, and you could even call it Cannibal the Musical, and then you have to sing all of your accusations as you point to everybody. I believe that is the first movie to have a Let's Build a Snowman song in it. And Mike, you should know this with your Trey Parker and Matt Stone love. If you're a real fan,
What?
you've never seen, Trey Parker and Matt Stone are.
Yes, I do. I'm sorry. I was reading a comment.
Have you never seen Cannibal the Musical?
No.
Oh, well, fix that. Anyway, so
Okay.
my game, it's werewolf, but it's cannibal, and it's Cannibal the Musical. So it is Trey Parker, Matt Stone themed. There's your IP. Lock it in. You got to sing all your accusations. Oh,
boy.
Aaron. I like Aaron's game better already. Like,
Secretly a vegetarian. Oh man.
and he's the evil one.
Well, I saw the Cannibal Corpse Parade, the tableau builder, and I'm like,
Mm.
yeah. And I don't even like Cannibal Corpse. I just think so. But yeah, I saw this and I thought Tim was gonna steal my idea, but no. This is Jeffrey Dahmer, the hidden movement game. So one player is Jeffrey Dahmer, and he is just kind of stalking in the shadows of nightclubs, looking for. We're all playing, youngish men that he liked to prey on, and we're trying to avoid getting captured by Jeffrey Dahmer. Except that, well, the game doesn't end until at least one person gets captured by Jeffrey Dahmer. Or you can escape the club without getting eaten by Jeffrey Dahmer. Bonus points if he actually tries to cook your remains and not eat them raw.
I thought you'd get bonus points for escaping.
Only if you're not Dahmer. If you're Dahmer, there's actually like a separate mini game after you've captured someone where like you play like sort of a quick, like there's a rock, paper, scissors deck. And through that deck, you're kind of like also playing war with an AI deck. If you win that game of war, you get to eat the parts first. So.
No, you're slowing everything down. You need to do it more like a distilled mechanic where you've got these recipes. And so, you've got an arm and then you leave one, right? You what is it? You give the top, what do they call it? The devil and the angel. So you got like the one you keep and the one you throw back in.
Yeah.
Oof.
I don't even play that one, unfortunately, but I need to play Distilled.
Well, it's pretty good.
Theme I like, obviously. But yeah, you got to survive the shower scene. They actually do have a shower on the map. So yeah, it's very thematic. Very thematic. Jeffrey Dahmer, the hidden movement game.
For once, I'm really, really glad that Mike is having the more problematic picks and suggestions than me.
I can come up with very problematic things. You just know I won't often do that on air.
Well, that's also true. Man,
but
I'm kind of here. I'm kind of here for Aaron's version though, where everybody's a cannibal except for the secret vegetarian, and you're trying to make everybody eat meat to prove that they're.
Yes. Dude, David just turned my Dahmer game into a polyomino. I'm here for it. I am here for a Jeffrey Dahmer polyomino game because all of the severed extremities are bent in different directions and you got to fill them into your freezer. I love it.
But then I play Then I play a card on your tableau, which is power outage, and then you've got to dump your freezer because all the stuff's rotting and the neighbors will smell it.
Well, now I'm out. I told you I hate crisis management, so
That's true. Yeah, I'm gonna play Aaron's game called Secret Vegan.
secret vegan.
Oh, so you just retheme Secret Hitler with Secret Vegan. So you're passing policies, but like, well, is this a meat eater policy or a vegetarian policy, right?
Now the vegans are the traitors, correct?
Yeah, vegans
Just
are evil.
double-checking?
Everybody knows
Okay.
that.
Well, I always start every game of Secret Hitler exactly the same, so I just want to make sure I get into the game really quickly. I'm a carnivore.
Right. Yeah. But not just a carnivore, a cannibal.
Oh, wait. But the vegans are still the hidden traitors?
Yeah, they're the bad guys.
Okay, I'm a cannibal.
Yeah, cannibal. 100%.
And then the goal is to see which vegan can go the longest without announcing to multiple people that they are vegans.
Oh, Bob, just beat you to it. The problem with the vegan is they're already going to tell you.
Reading that.
No one would believe it.
No one would believe it.
Oh, my goodness.
The goal is to get people to believe that you're actually a vegan, then. It's reverse Secret Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah. Secret
That
cannibal.
was amazing. That
Secret-
was
So it's got to be
amazing.
secret cannibal. You're the secret cannibal. Everybody else is vegans. Not just and everybody's got to be obnoxious about it. Do you dare just assume
No.
my eating preferences? And this was the last show of Board Game Rundown that we ever got to do.
Jeez, you criminal.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Took a
Wow.
twist.
Well, I mean, hey, people saw the title of this one, least favorite.
Yeah.
And, just assumed we were going to be on Negative Rants all night anyway.
And then the least favorite turned into being that Tim and Mike were the least favorite board game hosts on the internet.
Secret cannibals. Secret
We're-
vegan.
We're monsters.
Oh my god. Wow.
All right, Mike. Let's do a little bit of trivia before we get out of here.
Okay,
I just
a little
wanted
bit
to
of trivia. Probably not too much. Gonna be a shorter one tonight, I think, but I am good for some trivia.
Yeah, we'll throw a few. I'm going to break these up into categories real quick. I got basketball. I got hockey. I don't know why I'd even bother to say ice hockey.
Keep
I don't know.
hockey out. Yeah, give me the big three, and there's a few other games I'd be all right with.
Baseball. I'm leaving
Yeah.
logos and mascots out because in the list. Like I'm putting
Yeah, I
I'm
like
putting
those.
putting hockey away because logos and mascots is kind of like a wild card sort of category that I think is cool.
Yeah, I just don't know enough about hockey to really be dangerous. I might get one out of a few.
And then there's foosball and all sports, and then like seen on screen.
Okay. All right, so I'll just go ahead and start throwing your Star Wars trivia at you, which, as we know, it is, for those that may not remember, it is this, based off of the original trilogy. I'm trying to get it. There you go, classic trilogy.
Yeah, that is my Star Wars Trivial Pursuit game that I loaned to Mike for this purpose explicitly.
Yes, because I sucked at it. So it's better to have Tim do these. All right. So each card has 6 questions. Who is referred to as the Emperor's Prize?
Ooh, would that be Luke Skywalker?
It is. What vehicle had C-3PO spotted on Tatooine when he shouted, "I transport, I'm saved"?
Oh, that's the big Jawa transport. I forget what it's called, but it's the big Jawa one. It looks like a trapezoid, big and brown.
It's
called. It's just like it's not like a technical name, right?
No, and don't look at Bob's comment.
Is it like
Or Nix's or Evans?
I'm not looking. Is it like
It's sort of based on what it travels on and how it
yeah,
travels.
it's like a sand crawler, a sand
Yes.
something. Okay.
Same
Thank
color.
God. Thank God. Okay. I was trying to think of like the, TIE Fighters twin ion engine, blah, 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 get into
Oh.
way into the weeds.
What did the Emperor claim would soon be crushed?
The rebellion.
Yep. What rebel leader ordered Green Group to stick close to holding sector MV7?
Was that Mon
What?
Mothma?
No.
Oh, General Dodonna?
Nope. But it is a military term.
Admiral
Military
Akbar.
surfers. Yep, that's him. Who asked R2D2, why do you have to be so brave?
C3PO.
He did. I mean, don't all conversations with R2D2 involve C3PO in the
Not
original
all of them.
trilogy? Him and Luke. All right, you got two answers. All right. Maybe Solo on a couple. What three things comprise the dark side of the Force, according to Yoda?
Fear, hate, and three things that comprise the
Fear
dark.
is correct.
It's not hate, anger,
Correct.
and it's not hatred.
No.
Give in to your anger. Give in to your fear. What's the third one? I give up.
Well, I will not stand for this. Aggression.
Aggression.
And that is that card.
Okay. Mike,
So
do you have a
got a
Mail.
D6? Yeah.
Do you have a D6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I've numbered the categories. Roll a D6 and tell me what you get.
Nice. I'm actually going to roll one because I have one next to me, and why wouldn't I?
I'd grab one if you didn't. I'll grab one. They're not far from me.
Oh, just so it doesn't go too far.
Yeah.
3.
1, 2, 3. You get seen on screen.
Okay.
Which 1992 movie includes the quote, "There's no crying in baseball"?
That is A League of Their Own.
You're welcome. I tried to say it as much like Tom Hanks as I could too.
You wouldn't have had to. I knew.
Which NBA Hall of Fame player did not appear alongside Michael Jordan in the 1996 movie A Space Jam? Was it Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, or Charles Barkley? Who was not in Space Jam? Bird, Magic, or Barkley?
Wow. Barkley.
No, Magic.
Oh, wait. Oh, that was my next guess. Yeah. You're right. It was Magic. That was my I literally had that. That was my first guess and changed it. Okay.
All right. I don't know. Have you ever seen the movie Johnny Be Good?
Yeah, but a long time ago.
Okay, because there's an actress that got her start by playing cheerleader Georgia Elkins in the 1988 movie Johnny Be Good. Is it Jennifer Connelly, Heather Graham, or Uma Thurman?
Heather Graham.
It was Uma Thurman. Which brothers were known for playing dirty in the 1977 movie Slapshot? Was it the Bash brothers, the Hanson brothers, or the Suter brothers?
Yeah, I just don't know hockey. The Bash brothers?
Nope. It was the Hanson brothers, and they were fictional, so you had to have seen the movie. Which city's soccer team inspired the events in the 2009 movie The Damned United? Was it Manchester, Leeds, or Washington, D.C.?
I'll just say Manchester.
It was Leeds.
Yeah, I know nothing about soccer.
Right.
So.
How about this one? Which movie follows a pitcher from the Dominican Republic as he enters the MLB's minor leagues? Is it Ball Player, Pelotero? Is it Sugar, or is it The Phenom?
The Phenom.
It was Sugar. Oof, these are tough. Let me see if there's one that might. Okay, how about this one? What team name is on the inmates' jerseys during the football game in the original 1974 film, The Longest Yard?
Oh my God.
And I believe they were the same name in the Adam Sandler version, but I might be wrong. Was it the Gridiron Gang, the Wrecking Crew, or the Mean Machine?
Was it the Mean Machine?
It is the Mean Machine. And I'll
That's-
ask you one more off of
that one I
here.
thought I actually knew.
Which movie, based on a true story about a British running team at the 1924 Paris Olympics, won 4 Academy Awards? Was it Race? Was it Chariots of Fire? Or was it Without Limits?
Without Limits.
It was Chariots of Fire, my friend.
What kind of racing?
Just track. Olympic track.
No, they don't use chariots in Olympic track. Anyway,
All right,
those
give me
are
a,
hard.
They were.
Those were hard.
I skipped a bunch too. Okay,
Man,
give me
those were
give me
hard. All right. I get like 2 soccer questions, a hockey question.
That's what you get for
Like,
rolling a 3, you chump.
Like I know the rules of hockey and soccer. I just don't enjoy the sports. So sorry. Don't pay any attention. That said, everything is proceeding as I have foreseen it.
The Emperor. Yeah, you did, Wayne.
Nice. Oh, who's the crazy? Is that a Smith?
That
All
might
right,
be
we can't tell who the Facebook user is.
that
Let
might
us
be
know.
Jeff.
Could be Andrew. Could be Jeff. What did Han Solo unsuccessfully try to reach while trapped in the Ewok net?
His blaster.
Mm-mm.
No, Luke's lightsaber.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did Luke promise he'd pay a return visit to? Who did Luke promise he'd pay a return visit to?
Yoda.
Yoda. Who's the first person Luke greeted upon his return to the Ewok village?
Leia.
That is correct. Who was sleeping when Luke first laid eyes on him?
Leia.
No.
Oh. Who was sleeping when Luke first laid eyes on him? Han's sitting at a bar with Chewie. They're sitting in the cantina. Obi-Wan found him. Leia's laying on the bench. Yoda finds them. Yoda, you seek Yoda. Who is sleeping?
Pizza.
Who?
Pizza the Hut.
Oh, Jabba.
Yes. Jabba the Hutt.
Or
is sleeping.
Pizza the Hut is gonna send out for you.
You. I know that movie way better than any of the Star Wars movies, so this is weird. But I grew up loving Mel Brooks movies. So, who was the first character to say "I love you" during Return of the Jedi? I knew this one.
Ooh, is it Leia?
No,
It's Han then.
it is Han.
Yeah.
He says it to Leia.
Yeah.
Lone Star.
Lone Star. Wayne had it. Good job, Wayne.
Yep.
It's the
that
juxtaposition. I should have known.
That is your card, sir.
Okay, roll a die. I know that you should get at least 3 or 4 of these if you roll a 3 again.
I rolled a freaking 3 again. Why do I always get the warped one?
Why do I always get the warped one? Okay, here we go. What name does Roy Hobbs burn into the baseball bat made from a tree stuck by lightning in The Natural? Come on, this movie's awesome.
Dude, I watched The Natural the last time probably 25 years ago. I have no idea.
Okay,
Sorry.
is it Thunderbolt, Wonder Boy, or Boomstick?
Boomstick.
It is Wonder Boy. Which high school basketball team does Michael J. Fox play for in Teen Wolf? Is it the Camden Cubs, the Woolton Wolverines, or the Beacontown Beavers?
Isn't it the Cubs?
Nope, it's the Beavers. Which NFL team is Kevin Costner the general manager of in the 2014 movie Draft Day?
The Browns. That's a terrible movie.
Yeah, but you got that question right.
Yeah, but it's a movie category, so I'm going to suck at it again. But I watched that, and it's terrible.
Which actor played Coach Gordon Bombay in 1992, The Mighty Ducks? The Mighty Duck Man himself.
That was
Emilio. Thank you. Which furry animal? Yes. Yeah. Emilio's good enough. Which furry animal does groundskeeper Carl Spackler combat in the I found a typo. 1978 golf movie Caddyshack. It says 1988.
It is a groundhog.
You know what? It says a woodchuck, a groundhog, or a gopher. And it's a gopher. I would have said a groundhog as well, but that's because of Groundhog's Day.
Hold on a minute. Isn't a woodchuck and a groundhog the same thing?
No.
They were just different names.
No. Apparently not.
Hold on a minute. The woodchuck, also known as the groundhog.
Yeah, but it's not a woodchuck or a groundhog. It's a gopher.
It's neither. That's a terrible question. That's the typo. They put two of the same answer as the other options.
That's how
was the giveaway. There was a gopher.
Yeah, that's right.
Damn it, Jim.
Okay, have you seen the movie Mr. 3000?
Yes.
Okay, which NBA star did the Stan Ross commercial shown in Mr. 3000 parody? So he's making fun of an NBA star. Was it Kobe Bryant, Charles Barkley, or Michael Jordan?
Jordan.
Barkley. Which actor have you seen the movie The Way Back?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm going to skip it. Which future director played a defensive lineman in The Replacements? You're at least aware of The Replacements. Was it Ben Affleck, Jon Favreau, or Jordan Peele? This movie was directed in 2000. Came out in 2000.
Is it Jordan Peele?
No, it is Jon Favreau. Have you seen Mystery Alaska?
Nope.
With your Alaskan obsession? No, you're not going to know a movie about teen gymnastics. So we'll move on to a different card. That's
even
basically
sports movies. Don't even watch a whole lot of those.
I know.
Like,
I know.
Did I watch Mr. 3000? Yeah. Like 19 years ago when it came out.
Okay. I have moved that one out of the potential that you could roll.
Right.
Why don't you roll a die again?
Yeah. Evan has spent my movie memory. And I just don't watch enough to like tie people together unless they're super obvious actors. Or like early to mid 2000s. 90s, that kind of stuff. The stuff I watched over and over and over. All right, you said re-roll. All right.
Yeah, roll a die again. We'll try it. So
anyway. 1.
Okay, we're going to football.
Okay.
Which quarterback threw for more than 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns during his first season as a starter? And this is in the last 5 years.
Patrick Mahomes.
It is. Which quarterback won 3 out of 4 Super Bowl games from 93 to 96?
That was No. Hold on. No,
93 to 96.
Yeah, that was before Brady. That was Joe Montana. Oh no. Okay, if it's not him, it's Troy Aikman.
It's got to be Aikman. 93 to 96. Only the Cowboys. That was the 90s. Oh, question after my own heart. Which player became
earlier 90s was Montana. And then Cowboys,
but he was with the Chiefs by then. Which player became the first in Super Bowl history to return the opening kickoff for a touchdown, and I'm not going to give you the year.
That was Devin Hester in Super Bowl 41 against the Indianapolis Colts. They eventually ended up losing that game.
The Bears did. I wish the Colts did.
Correct.
And also Hester needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree. Best returner of all time.
If you're the best at something in a sport, you deserve to be in Hall of Fame.
The best kickers make the Hall of Fame. Devin Hester was the best kick returner of all time.
And nobody sniffed it since. Okay. Which NFL team won the first 2 Super Bowls in 1967 and in 68?
That was the Packers.
There we go.
That's why it's called the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, Wayne, love you there too. Which NFL team? Which NFL team was offensive tackle Orlando Pace on from 99 to 2005 when he made the Pro Bowl 7 straight times? Orlando Pace. What team did he play for when he went to the Pro Bowl all those times in a row?
How many of those years again? And I'll have to have a couple guesses probably.
99 through 05. And I can give you multiple choice if you want.
Not yet.
Nope.
Dolphins? Cowboys?
Nope. There's only 30 teams left to pick.
All right, fine. Options.
Okay, Carolina Panthers, Detroit Lions, or the St. Louis Rams?
Oh, it's the Rams.
It is the Rams, and Wayne is on it.
Wayne was on it. Good stuff.
This one will be tough. This one will be tough. I didn't know this one. I've known all of them so far. Which Dallas Cowboys defensive back led the NFL in interceptions 3 times in 1981, 82, and in 85? I've never heard of this dude.
Wow. A Cowboys defensive back from the early 80s?
I know. I would have been like Dion, but it's not Dion.
That's too early.
Right. No, it's 10 years before, 15 years before Dion. Yeah.
Dang.
10 years before Dion.
I had to check. Orlando Pace never even played for the Dolphins. He only played for the Rams and the Bears. I don't know where Dolphins came from. Or Cowboys.
I don't know either. But
anyway, I had to look. I don't know where that came from.
So I'm going to give you multiple choice. I won't
know the name. And give it to me.
Michael Downs, Dennis Thurman, Everson Walls, or Charlie Waters?
Dennis Thurman?
Nope, it was Everson Walls. I've never heard of any of those dudes.
Yeah. Wow.
All right.
That was a tough one.
All right, give me a round of Star Wars and we'll polish off the night.
That one was tough. That was a good one. Well, that was a good balancing question because the other ones for me were fairly easy. Other than Orlando Pace was tough, but
he got you, but that's all right. You rocked the other ones though, Mike. You rocked the other ones.
Yeah, not bad. Okay. What was Veer's rank in the Imperial military?
General Veers.
Correct.
God,
How many wingmates accompanied Darth Vader's TIE fighter into the Death Star's trench?
2.
Correct. I don't remember the balloon thing.
Yeah, that's if I do this. The balloons come out. That's a new one I found.
I suck. All right. So jelly. Who was the first rebel to infiltrate Jabba the Hutt's palace?
Oh, it was it was actually 3PO and R2D2.
It was not. It was a human.
No. Oh, fudge. Lando Calrissian. Duh.
It was Lando.
Duh. He was already there when 3PO gets there. Idiot. I should have known that.
What admiral brought his fleet out of hyperspace too close to the Hoth system?
It is this is such a good one. I remember you have failed me for the last time. Okay.
I'll give you a small hint. Starts with a military rank.
Well, Admiral. You said Admiral.
I flipped the question over and then wasn't even looking at the question anymore.
It's like trying to think of the other names of the Admiral. Is it Admiral Mott?
No.
Is it let's see, we already said Veers. Veers was in charge on the ground. He was in the AT-ATs. I don't know. I give up on this one.
Admiral Ozzel?
Ozzel. God, I would never have gotten that one. I can see his face. I can see his face. I believe he had a mustache. He's like
Yeah,
reddish hair.
Never heard of that dude.
Yeah. I had
What
his card
is
in the old Star
the
Wars game.
what is the underlying color of R2D2's head dome?
Blue?
No,
White?
no. Well, neither of those were my guesses.
I mean, red? Is there a red
No.
line? Hell, I don't know. What color is it?
My guesses were black and red, and those were incorrect. It's silver.
Silver. Everybody got it in the chat but me. Damn, you guys are good.
Jeez, look at you guys.
Yeah, you guys rock.
Who complained to Luke on Hoth that he had no approach vector?
No approach vector. Was it Biggs?
No.
And it wasn't Wedge, right?
Mm-mm.
Han? No.
No.
Complain to Luke. It's the guy that dies in the snow speeder with Luke, and I can't think of his name.
I have a totally out of context clue.
Give me a totally out of context clue.
First name matches that of an NFL quarterback.
Oh, a quarterback, an NFL quarterback's first name?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
God, I mean, that could be 32 of them.
I know. I didn't know if that helped or not. I don't know this guy.
What's his name?
Dak.
I should have thought through because there's not a Steve in Star Wars, right? So I should have went through it.
Lamar?
Right.
No offense, sorry.
Give that man an MVP.
That's not a Star Wars name. Yeah, no kidding. He deserves it. Who started the trivia? Was it me? I don't remember who went first.
I think you asked me first. We can end here. I gave you 2 cards in a row. You've given me 3 cards. I've given you 3 cards.
All good. Yes. Star Wars trivia and a little bit of sports trivia, so Mike doesn't have to look stupid, but still did.
You did pretty good, man.
Yeah, I did all right.
You did pretty good. I
Those
can't believe
movie questions, dude. It just suck at them.
We swung over to the football one though, and you were nailing them.
Yeah. I mean, you stick to the main 3 sports, and I'll get a lot of them. But you start talking about movies, I'm like, oh yeah, that one I watched when I was 12. Yeah, I haven't watched that since.
But yeah, this was a really fun list. Good job tonight, Mike. It was a lot. You never know how these are going to go. You're kind of waiting. Yeah, thank you, Nix. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you, Nick.
I'm excited to see where we're at when the show's done.
Yeah. Oh, we lost some. Just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
But no, yeah, these lists, they are fun because I say that I enjoy them, and I do because it's different. We're a pretty positive channel. I said it from the start. 99%, and I looked it up. 99% of our content is positive. So sometimes it's good to just rant a little bit about stuff we didn't like. And that doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't mean the people that designed it or developed it drew it or published it are bad people. Just not every game works for every person. And it's okay to talk about that stuff. And it's fun to rant about sometimes.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Love going on the rant.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim. You'll enjoy it. And then you can watch Mike faint when I give my first 2 picks because he loves those games. And that's okay too. That's okay too. Mike wore his pearls just so he could clutch them as I talked about why I didn't like his first 2 games or my first 2 games on my list. But no, you guys are awesome. This list was super fun. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to next week. We have some very cool guests coming on. We're gonna have Seppi Yoon on at the end of this month, and again at the beginning of the month. We're gonna do a tabletop simulator play of Conquest Princess, which I'm super excited to see. And then following that, we are going to do the following week. We're gonna have Seppi on, and we're gonna do a top 5, unless we decide to expand to 10. If Mike can do 10, robots. Most important robots in movie and
robots, I thought.
Yeah, top 5 robots or 10 robots.
Yeah. Favorite robots.
Seppi and I have been going back and forth a lot about the rules with this list, which I love because it just shows that he is at least as big a nerd as I am, which is fantastic. Also, if you don't know Seppi, that dude is freaking hilarious and just an absolute joy to be around. So I am really, really, really looking forward to having him on the show. It was a joy to get to interview him at Gen Con. I knew him kind of, and then got to meet him at Gen Con, and I feel like we've kind of been friends ever since. And so I just look forward to more of that.
Loved him, and then chatted with him, and he cracked me up. So don't miss that show. He is a really funny guy. He's very entertaining. Honestly, I expect the Seppi Yoon episodes to be really, really funny.
Oh my God. We're going to get in trouble. I'll just tell you that. We're going to get in trouble because Seppi and I are going to go off the rails and it's going to get out of control. And I can't wait. I'm really excited for that.
If somebody leads, I'll follow.
And we're working on a few other guests coming up that I think that everybody will want to see, that it will be interesting.
You've confirmed one of them, right?
Nope, not yet. We haven't got a date. I'll wait till we get a date to confirm.
Okay, fair.
I'm waiting for them to pick a date, but they've got a game coming out soon, and so I'm looking forward to having them on. And just more stuff. And in the meantime, while we're waiting for either the end of the month when we have Seppi on, or for our mystery guests to confirm, we're going to continue on with the last couple of our top 100 that we have to do. We got 2 left.
We got 2 left. Yeah, we still got 70 to 51.
And just in case anybody was wondering, our rules for robots, you had to be manufactured and programmed. So those were the rules.
No cyborgs.
No cyborgs. They're not programmed, right? So
that's right.
I was like, Mike, like in Star Trek, like the Borg, and Mike's like, I don't know. And I'm sending him pictures of like 7 of 9 and Locutus, and he doesn't know any of that stuff. So, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Star Wars, when I was a kid, I was like, what in the world is this? And it pushed me away from everything sci-fi.
Oh my God. I love sci-fi so much. But
now I do.
It's all right. It's not for everybody. And sometimes it hits different at different times in your life, So
if you're still with us, give us a thumb. We appreciate it. I should immediately see 14 likes on this. Boop, 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 yeah, you guys are awesome. You're here every week, listen to us goof around and self-deprecate and rant and sometimes be too nice.
Also, real quick, and then we can end it. Like Wayne, you see Wayne in the comments. Wayne's participating. He is part of the Beans and Dice show. They do a live stream on Thursdays. You really should check them out. We need to, Mike, you need to comment when you're available for a Thursday so we can go on over there and get on with those guys.
They just do a call in. You just call in and you get to be on the show. It's a pretty cool idea.
And Aaron, that's amazing. I love that so much, dude. You need to write that down and we need to work on that. But yeah, you need to check out them. They're really good. Their show's really cool. I love the call-in aspect. And again, they got a bunch of guys on their show. They got all kinds of different opinions. They talk about news and stuff and where they're at. And then the calls, also, they allow the calls to sort of direct the flow of the show sometimes. People bring stuff up. And I've called in once. Evan, I called in once. So I'm not as good as you. I haven't called in twice. I'm late to the party, I know, but
it is good. And I'll make sure I call in sometime. We'll figure out a night so that it can officially be the Beans and Rice podcast.
Oh boy, yeah. Also, make sure you check out the Full 42 on Mondays. That's Mike Giuliano and Chris Strain's podcast. Love those guys.
Good dudes.
Are great dudes. Their show's entertaining. They have big name guests on all the time. They just had John Gilmore on and somebody who I'm really rude for because I'm forgetting their name. But they have designers on. You get a lot of good inside baseball stuff there. Those are industry guys, right? So if you like those kind of shows, you want some of that information, you got those questions, talk to them. They're great dudes. Also check out Board Game Mechanics. It's one of my favorite board game podcasts that I've listened to for ages. And then since Origins, I got turned on to Tabletop Submarine, also a fantastic podcast with Andrew Stiles and his co-host, who I'm also a rude person because I don't remember his co-host's name. So I apologize.
Jason Harris.
See, I just won't even say the name because I want to say it wrong. But anyways, check all that stuff out while you're not watching us. Yeah, Josh Bowman. Thank you, Evan. Evan's coming through and saving the day as usual. Evan, so I'm gonna send you some pictures of Shogun, and then if you ever need theme ideas for any of your games, I'm your guy. Hit me up.
Right.
I can theme a game. You work on the mechanics. Oh, Jason.
Jason. That's who I met at Gen Con. That's why I got confused.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good way to grab onto that and hold onto that as your excuse. Yeah.
Thank you. Tons of good content creators out there. As you guys know, we started very small, and you guys have followed us this long. It doesn't matter that they only got a few hundred subs. That is where we all start, and that doesn't mean the content's not good. Check them out.
Not at all. They are worthy of your attention. They're really good. They're really good. So, all right, Mike, that's all I got, man. You got anything else?
I don't. It was fun to do the random rants sometimes.
Yeah,
I run with those a little bit sometime, but it's fun to do. That's why.
For sure. Well, to quote my least favorite Beatle, peace and love for the Board Game Rundown. I've been Tim.
That was Mike.
Woo! We'll see you next time, man.
See you guys. Thank you.